blank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the result. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was called with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena on. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the number one chief rocker, Knicks Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy. And welcome to the Knicks at Night podcast. It's good to see you. Good to be with you. Y'all want this party started right. Y'all want this party started quickly, right? What's good, party people? You know what the vibe. Blue tears, orange tears, blorange tears. Bam. Let's go. Let's go. All right, y'all. Y'all know how we do. Get that energy up. Throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And if you got some loot and a stick of juicy fruit, somebody say, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Scream. Ah. Just real quick, want to say thank you to the members of the channel and the Patreons. I got a recap video coming your way. Did I do the recap video? I think I did a recap video already. Yeah, I did the recap video. The recap video is out there already for you guys. Something just for you guys. I appreciate y'all dedication to helping this channel grow and helping us provide a quality product. So just giving y'all some extra stuff. Right. Nick G is in the building. Core Mega, the hip hop legend, is in the building. Ricardo Torres, book up, is in the building. DSJ, what's happening? Hulk TV is in the building. Will Salkin is in the building. Miss Geraldine is in the building. What's good? It's good to see y'all. Rel, what's good, Rel? Rel is in the building. What's good? Just rocked with Rel a few minutes ago, man. We had a dope joint, man. Went over and rocked with those guys. Listen, man. Had a good time talking Knicks and Mavericks. Had fun, man. Had fun. Coach Color Blocks is in the building. Aaron N, what's good? I see you, boss. Dripmore is in the building. Hey, all my squares in the building. Hey, y'all. So, a lot of things to talk about this afternoon's game and tomorrow's game. Dispense King is in the building. What's good? Dispense King is in the building. What's happening? Man, it was good to rock with some Mavs fans, man. The content, the quality of content that they provide is awesome. Make sure y'all go subscribe to their channel. Let me grab the link. I'm gonna pin it. I'm gonna pin the link to their channel in the chat. Right. Let me find it. Let me find it here. Got a lot of stuff going on. Sorry, y'all. Let me see. Hello, man. Let me find my guys. Got their channel. GLO Mavs. Let me put it in the chat. I got it. I'm gonna pin it. Man, make sure y'all go check out these stuff, man. Man, we had a good time talking real basketball, man. We had a good time talking real basketball over there. Shout out to them guys. Right, shout out to them guys. Y'all see the link? Y'all see the link in the chat? Just click on it, man. Check out their stuff. Subscribe to the channel. I had a very good time. I had a very, very, very good time, man. It was fun. It was fun. The time flew by. As a matter of fact, I was over there. I was like, man, listen, I hope I'm not talking too much. Because y'all know I get chatty. Lawrence Tears fam, y'all know I get chatty, right? Especially when I get excited. When I get excited, I start chatting, man. I start talking. And they're like, man, Uncle Freezy won't let nobody talk. So I was over there rocking, you know what I'm saying, man, had a very good time. They got something that's going to be something special. You know what I'm saying? You know. Hey, Almighty Finesse says, who cares about the Mavs? Hey, man, it's not just the Mavs, Almighty Finesse. It's them brothers rocking. That's their team. They rocking. You know, we went over. It's like Almighty Finesse. It's like, who cares about the Knicks? Who cares about the Knicks? We do. We rocking. We rocking. We rocking, right? Let me see. I think Sherwin put something in the chat. Is Sherwin trying to start something already? Let me see here. Okay. So Sherwin says, good night. I've been listening to the other content creators. It seems like they all think Randall is to blame for everything wrong about our awful defense. Sherwin, you know how this works. When content creators don't, and I'm not throwing no blame or no shade. So if you feel like I'm stepping on your toes, if you're a Knicks content creator, don't get out your feelings, really. You know what I'm saying? Don't take it personally. But a lot of times when there's nothing to talk about, they go to the old trusty thing. Right? They'll go to the old trusty thing, like how they used to blame Evan Fournier for everything. Like you know, the defense will look bad and they blame Evan Fournier. Well, if it wasn't for Evan Fournier, and now Evan Fournier is on the bench and the defense still looks bad. So was it really Fournier? Sally says, good job on the Mavs collab. No doubt, bro. No doubt. Make sure y'all check out GLO Mavs. We Talk Mavs, man. Make sure y'all check them out. But to Sherwin's point, when we don't have a clear understanding of why we lost, the first thing we do is blame Randall. Mr. Vince is in the building. What's good? Mr. Vince is in the building. Mr. Vince is like our older brother. Mr. Vince is our older brother by 17 minutes. Mr. Vince is our older brother by 17 minutes, but he think he our daddy. Anybody got I'm just joking. Vince, look, hey, Mr. Vince, hey, I'm just I'm just joking with you. I'm just joking with you, right? I'm just joking with you, Mr. Vince. Anybody out there got an older brother? He like an older brother that's like 14 months older than you, but he act like he your uncle. Hey boy, didn't I tell you to do your homework? No, Mr. Vince don't do that. That's my man. Mr. Vince is my man, my man. I'm just joking. Mr. Vince says, Tank Commander in full effect. Thanks, Leon. And Wiz says, salute, Uncle Freezy. You represented well with the Mavs content creators. My finger is pointed at Tips first, then front office, then players. Right? Sherwin says, I have sisters like that. Right? Hey, shout out to our people. Shout out to our people, right? Sisters like that. Ray is in the building. What's good, Mr. Ray?
I'm chilling. How y'all doing? Hi. What up to everybody in the chat? What up, Freezy? I started watching a little bit of some of the game over, and I actually see where actually Tibbs is wrong and what we're doing, like exactly what the problem is.
Let's break it down then, sir. Because I got some stuff I want to say too. I just want to get the salutations out of the way, but I got some stuff that I want to talk about also.
Yeah. Usually our power forward is spaced out with a corner shooter against good teams that want to shoot threes.
Okay.
And it's a principle by Tibbs that we're gonna use that power forward, whether it's Randall or Obi, and they're not being done any favors by Tibbs, but we make the weak side help, which is usually them sag into the paint or zone up in the middle of the lane. And they're not agile enough, or they don't have the IQ enough to want to stunt and go back and forth between the corner three and sagging into the paint. And this is just knowing your personnel. And Tibbs is asking guys to do things they physically cannot do or they're not good at doing. Like, we don't have the traditional rangy 3-and-D power forward. We have traditional power forwards trying to do stuff that they can't do.
Wouldn't it be nice if you had two Cam Reddishes?
I mean, we could have one Cam Reddish and just actually use him. Yeah. We could actually run multiple wings and just one big, like a lot of teams do. But instead of that, we're running two power forwards.
Right, and not just two.
Yeah,
two power forwards. You mean
our
Obi,
small ball
Obi
lineup?
And Randall?
Yeah, we're running two power forwards in our small ball lineup, trying to match up against teams.
I would venture to say that we played three power forwards, including RJ Barrett.
What if I told you it was four power forwards?
Oh God!
Because what are Brunson's strengths? Scoring in the paint, right? And post moves. yeah.
Right.
So what if we have three or four undersized power forwards in our starting lineup?
Right. In our rotation. Right. Adam, what's good, boss?
It's actually funny.
What's good?
Yeah, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. I think so what you see is kind of what I see, right? But but what I saw today is Jason Kidd made an adjustment on the fly and Tom Thibodeau didn't.
Yeah, but that's a common theme. I saw a statistic. The first 23 games of the season, the Knicks have given up 101 points. And every single game, no Knicks team has ever done it.
Right.
So that speaks to bad coaching to a certain extent. What up, Jay Boogie?
Salute,
Jay Boogie is in the building. What's good?
He out here looking dapper.
I hear him.
Appreciate that, my brother. But keep rocking. Keep rocking.
Jay Boogie out here this late at night. He know it's past his bedtime. You know, Jay Boogie is only 18 years older than us, right? Only. I know he looked younger than that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them babies that was born in 68, 69. Shout out to them 68, 69 babies. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all do a good job of not. Right. Y'all do a good job of not letting the Knicks age y'all.
Hey, man. Hey, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, but on some realness, Dre, I understand what you're saying. And man, you and I had a conversation about a month and a half ago, and you'll probably remember when I referenced the Golden State Warriors using a pinch baseline defense, like they cover, like they don't cover just a man, they cover a man. But if they get touched by another offensive player, they zone up from box to corner.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And so what that does is you put Draymond Green at the free throw line and put Looney on one box, and then you put Wiggins on another box, or you put Looney at the top, depending on if you have a big that can score. If you have a stretch big, you put Draymond out there. You have a traditional big, you put Looney up there, right? And then
it's just depending on personnel and like IQ and knowing the other team's personnel,
right? And tendencies.
Yeah, exactly. So like a guy like Draymond would stunt out to guys in the corners that he know can't shoot for real,
right?
But what we would do, we would overcommit, and if the pass goes and it goes to a non-shooter, since we already overcommitted, the breakdown's gonna happen regardless.
Right. But with us, the breakdown starts at the point of attack. For one, as soon as if you have a fast point guard, the breakdown is started in the matchup, because for one, you switch Grimes onto a scoring point guard. So what happens is now Jalen Brunson has to handle a bigger, stronger guard, right? And if that guard can score also, now you put RJ on that guard, and now you put Jalen Brunson on the smallest player that's the weakest scoring option.
Yeah.
Right? And
God forbid, hold on, Freezy. God forbid they call the screen 30 feet away from the rim. God forbid.
Geez. Oh God. Right.
Then there's nothing we can do. You just got to let God take the wheel. Let Jesus take the wheel.
Basically, and there's nothing we can do about it. But because listen, no matter what we talk about, man, Jalen Brunson is not going to grow. Jalen Brunson is our guy, right? Jalen Brunson is our guy. He's not going to grow 6 inches, right? It's not going to happen. So what we have to do is scheme, you know what I'm saying, for his deficiencies. And the thing is, every NBA player is going to have deficiencies. For instance, Giannis can't shoot, right? Yeah. But Milwaukee runs an offense that compensates for him not shooting, right?
Yep, and they have roster construction for it too, and they have sets and principles for
it. Right. Giannis can't shoot, so they have roster with a whole bunch of bigs that can shoot. So that you can't, clog the paint on Giannis or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yep. For instance, Luka is a bad defender. Right? Luka's a bad defender. Trae Young is a bad defender. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Davis stays hurt. You feel me? Cat is a selfish offensive player. So every NBA player has weaknesses, right? In Jalen Brunson's case, is better to have a point guard that can score and you help him defensively than to have a defensive point guard and your offense can't score. You always scrapping for buckets. Always. Yeah. And that's what we were facing last year, the last 2 years. That's why it was important to get Jalen Brunson here.
Yeah, because we're despite being one of the worst shooting teams in the league, we're still like a top 10 offense solely because of Jalen Brunson, to be absolutely honest. because without him, this offense just falls off a cliff. It just looks like a bunch of guys stumbling around, going through the motions, trying to do things, and it just becomes like a tedious act to get shots or to score without Brunson on the court consistently, at least. So like,
Hey, real quick. Hey,
we,
real quick.
go
I
ahead,
just
baby.
I want to shout out to everybody real quick. Blessings and help, that happiness to everybody. Happy holidays and everything. I didn't even see the game. I woke up and saw an ugly score. I'm not tripping on that right there.
Yeah.
I'm here to handle my business. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the chat and everything. Right now, I'm getting ready to start shooting this video at 1:00. I'm down here at 69th and I'm down here in Times Square, and I'm right here across the street from the Music City Hall. Had to go mute for a second, but yeah, we're gonna start shooting at 1. I'm waiting on Papa Left. I'm waiting on my man Cully. You know what I'm saying? The video gonna be lit. It's for the peoples. We doing this for the people. You know what I'm saying? So when we start putting this thing out, man, need all love and support for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting this bread in to entertain everybody. You know what I'm saying? So when you see it come up, hit the like buttons, review them, do everything you got to do, because I'm doing this because the season ain't so good. We got to have some entertainment, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, we down here getting ready to shoot this back on Christmas video. It's lit. I know it's about 47,000 people just in that one area right here. So if y'all still going to be on, Freezy, when we shooting, I'm gonna come back on and give you some live footage, or maybe Papa Left or Cully, one of them when they doing their verses or something, you know what I'm saying?
No doubt,
if you're still on.
I was about to ask if they got a verse.
You gonna do that for us?
Yeah.
You gonna do that for us?
I mean, I was in the studio one time and laid something down while y'all was on live. So why wouldn't I do it for y'all? Y'all my people.
Man, dog. You know I love you, dog. You my man, bro. You my man. You my man. You our guy, bro.
Yeah, anybody that's live, you know, I do that for them right now. So since you live right now, if you're still on when we doing what we doing, of course, you know, I'm gonna step back and give you some live footage of what we got going on. So
that's love.
Yeah,
of course we're gonna.
That's what's up.
I'm gonna jump off so I don't interfere with a lot of background noise. I just wanted to let you know that since you on. All right, my brother.
Hey man, for sure. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, Boogie. That's a rare
no
individual right
Much
there.
love to everybody.
Salute, Boogie.
Yeah, man. Jay Buggy, that's our guy. And I gotta play We the Biggest too. I think I have it. I have it, and I gotta play it. I keep telling Jay Buggy I'm gonna play it once every show, and then y'all start talking about Tom Thibodeau rotations, and I forget. I gotta put a note up here. You know what I'm saying? You know, or something.
A post-it note.
Yeah, post-it note right here in the middle of the screen, like right here. You know what I'm saying? TGK TV says, dope collab between you and my guys at We Talk Mavs. I had a question in the chat, want to ask it here. If you were running the Knicks, what are the moves you'd like to make at the deadline or offseason? Adam, you want to jump in on that?
I don't know what moves the Knicks have to make during
You were saying it earlier. You and Dre, y'all were talking about it earlier. That's why I asked you.
I'm gonna let Adam get his off because I got enough hours. I could go on for hours.
I can go on for hours, bro.
Go ahead, Dre.
Hours.
What would you do to make the scene better?
What would I do?
Yeah, he asked me, but you go ahead, Freeze. You can go first.
Okay. Now listen. Check me out. Check me out now. So this is a specific question, right? So when I answer this, this is not saying that Uncle Freezy said blah, 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 blah. This is a mere hypothetical question that deserves an earnest answer, right? If I were the Knicks, if I were running the Knicks, the moves that I would do at the deadline and offseason starts like this. I'm starting over from scratch. At the trade deadline, I'm dumping all the contracts I could possibly dump for draft picks. All of them. And when I say all of them, I mean all of them. Uncle Freezy, you mean Cam Reddish? Cam Reddish too. Uncle Freezy, you mean Jalen Brunson and Obi? Yes. I'm starting over from scratch and imposing a new attitude in the garden. No more of this nepotism. Oh, that's my nephew. Oh, yo, we go way back, man. Me and him been friends since. Nah. I'm searching for qualified candidates. I don't care if we have a relationship or not. We can build a relationship. Like me and Dre. Dre and I don't know each other, but Dre and I have excellent chemistry, right? And it's not because me and him talk on the phone 9 hours a day, right? It's because I kind of got a feeling for when he want to jump in, and I'll shut up. And he kind of know when I want to get in my bag, so he just step back and let me rock. And so with that in mind, I'm not keeping a soul. Sherwin, you hear me? I'm not keeping Mitch in that $15 million contract. Everybody got to go. And the reason why everybody's got to go is those people that you want to hold over. Those people are remnants of a bad era. And when you want to go into a new era, you go in clean. Right? So I'm trading everybody. Now during the off season, right? I'm just starting over. Listen, I'm drafting guys. The only contracts I'm looking to bring in is contracts that help me get up to the salary floor. Right? Like I'll try to take on a terrible contract. Derek Favors, a Russell Westbrook type contract. And I'll take that contract and have it just be in place. Right? This player is not playing. And I'm going into the draft and I'm drafting 4 more kids. Right? And then I'm signing free agents. And listen, and I know people will be like, well, if you do that, you only gonna win 20 games next year. So what? In the long run, I'll hit on a Kobe Bryant, a Tracy McGrady, and if I'm lucky, if I'm fortunate, and if I do this thing right, I'll hit on 2 of them. I'll hit on a Tracy McGrady and a Kobe. Right? Hit on it. I'll look like I'll have my team looking like the old New Jersey Nets when they had a top 8 pick at every position. Y'all remember that when they had a top 8 pick at every position? It was like Kenyon Martin, Richard Jefferson, Vince Carter, Jason Kidd. Remember that?
Keith Van Horn.
Ideally, yeah.
For a short time, Keith Van Horn.
Yeah. Ideally, that's what I'd love to do. Right? And here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. You start all over from scratch. And y'all know I love Randall. Y'all know I love RJ. But RJ, at this point, as a 4th-year player, has baggage. And I don't want to drag players with baggage, even though he's only 22. I don't want to drag players with baggage into a new era. I'm going clean slate. TGK TV. The Knicks have never entered a 4-year rebuild. Right? I look at the Indiana Pacers. The Indiana Pacers turned their team around in a year plus, not even 2 years. Not even two. And in a year plus, they have Tyrese Halliburton, Chris Duarte, Zeke Jackson. What's the young boy that jump out the gym, look like a bulldog?
Jalen Smith.
Ben Mathurin.
Ben Mathurin.
Yeah,
they have Jalen Smith as well. Jalen Smith as well is really good.
And they got Jalen Smith from Phoenix.
And they're still not done. They can still flip a couple more players off that team,
right?
Which they're going to.
They are right. So when the people say you can't do it, you can do it. You can do it. And listen, and I'm not saying that I dislike these players. What I'm saying is players that have that all this. See, our young players have bad coaching tendencies in them, right? And in order for them to get right, you have to bring in a new coach that's going to reprogram them and build them up. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
You want clean slates in here.
Clean. I want the Thompson twins and Anthony Black. I want Victor Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson in here. That's what I want. I want 2 or 3 studs the first year, and then 2 or 3 studs the second year, and then I'll bring in veterans to kind of acquiesce and orbit around them, right? But ultimately, I know an NBA team has to win with stars. So I'm drafting stars, super talented players. For one, if you're not an elite athlete, I'm not drafting you. And I don't care how you played in college. If you're not an elite athlete, I don't care what you did in the G League. If you're not a Thompson twin, sorry. If you're not a Victor W, sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Because listen, you know what average or just slightly above average athletes get you? RJ Barrett and Quentin Grimes. And no disrespect to them, but they've been coached bad and they've been in a bad environment. And so they're like apples that start to turn. They were once ripe, plump apples, and they weren't used right, sitting on the shelf. And now they're starting to expire. Right? Right? I need a Giannis Kobe combination. Right? I need a Tracy McGrady, Dwight Howard type combination. I need a Tracy McGrady, Grant Hill, Dwight Howard type combination. Because that's what's going to win in today's NBA. Right? If you get guys and their drawback, think about it. If you draft a guy and when you look at the pros and cons, and his cons are stuff like athleticism, you already got 2 strikes against you. So TGK TV, that's what I would do.
Uncle Freezy, that's I can dig with that. That's
the only way I target someone that's not athletic is if they come in with a Stephen Curry like explosion and skill set. That's literally the only way.
Mullen. That's it.
Yeah.
Bro, if you Larry Bird,
you have to be like an amazing shooter from anywhere on the court.
The only non-athlete I would draft is Luka. You have to be a Luka type dude for me to consider you as a part of the future. I mean, come on. Yo, come on, man. Come on, man.
It's like and I'm watching teams like the Celtics and they hit on back-to-back 3 picks. And they just brought them along the whole way. Like we all talk about Jason Tatum, right? Jaylen Brown is averaging 27, 4 and 4 on 61% true shooting right now.
Right. Bro,
and he's supposed to be the number 2. He's the 2 on that team.
Right, and that's the conversation that I'm having. See, because you can't tell Jaylen Brown he's number 2 nothing. You feel me? Even though in the flow of a game, it might appear that he's that guy, the number 2 guy, right? Right? Yeah. But you ain't getting ready to tell Jaylen Brown that, hey, what's up, boss?
It's really a 1A, 1B. It ain't no 2. It's 1A, 1B.
Right. How you gonna tell Anthony Davis that LeBron's the alpha? And you like, yo, Anthony Davis, like, this Joker got great in his beard. You telling me he better than me? And he got to use just for men? You crazy.
So Freezy, so every single player on the Knicks roster, you want to get them out of there?
No, Adam. See, again, that's what I was saying. Now, listen. The question was a hypothetical question. Right. He asked me a specific question. I told you what I would do if that was posed to me.
Right. Okay.
Right. And so there's a difference. Like I'm not just walking around. My thing is I don't want to run the Knicks. I don't want to propose trades and all that stuff. All I want to do is watch this team play and see what happens.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Now he posed a hypothetical to me where he put me on the spot and made me give it. Well, not made, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So to answer that question, I say that. So what I'm saying to the chat, don't run away with this whole thing of saying, Uncle Freezy said, you know what I'm saying, trade Randall. Nah. My man asked me a hypothetical, and I answered his hypothetical question.
Right.
Okay.
And
salute.
Sure.
That's G Money. That's G Money, Coach Zach.
Yeah, salute G Money and Z.
Salute. Ooh, and speaking of hypothetical, salute everyone. I have a crazy hypothetical question. If you guys had a time machine and you had to go back in time and change a sporting event, what would you change?
For the Knicks, or
it could be
anything.
Anyone. It can be anything. For me, preventing Chris Paul from being hurt. Here's why I say that. Think about it. Steph Curry and KD were free agents that season. Think about it. If I would have changed Chris Paul from being hurt, the Rockets beat the Warriors. The Warriors could have broken up. We could have had KD and Curry in the all season potentially.
Curry ain't going nowhere. Curry was going nowhere.
I'm not saying what if, but I'm saying potentially. I'm not saying what if.
Oh, potentially.
Potentially.
KD never come to New York.
Nah, he was rumored to come to New York for a long time. We screwed it up. I feel like
I wouldn't even do that. G Money. You know what I would have done?
Yeah.
And this is just me being a Nick Homer. Hey, salute Coach Zach, man. How you doing, Bubba?
Good. Just watch Michigan win.
Yeah, that jersey is hideous.
That jersey is awesome, bro. Very awesome.
I would go back in time and stop TCU and USC from losing, so we don't have to play Ohio State again.
I'm sorry.
So my what if is this. I would go back to 1984 or 1983, I think it was, whatever year it was, and stop Bernard King from getting hurt.
Nice.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that a healthy scoring machine, Bernard King, could play alongside Patrick Ewing and Gerald Wilkins.
Agreed.
And now all of a sudden, the Knicks roll out with a couple years later, the Knicks will get Mark Jackson and Rod Strickland. We don't have to trade Rod Strickland because we're a playoff contender already because Bernard King is a scoring machine and Patrick Ewing can save his knees. Right. And so while Bernard King would probably retire around 92, that means Pat Ewing would have more legs around 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002. Meaning our championship window would be longer, extended.
Agreed.
So not only will we have Bernard King, and listen, not only will we have championships, but maybe Coach Zach's name will be different. Mm-hmm. Maybe Coach Zach's name will be Patrick. You know what I'm
saying? and I have a funky what if for you. And this involves another New York team, the Brooklyn Nets. Hear me out. If I will go back in time, I will buy size 17.5. Give it to KD the last shot of the game. Make sure KD wears that so his sneakers will not be on the 3-point line. Hear me out here. If his sneakers were on the 3-point line, the Nets more than likely would have been the Bucks. I think they beat the Hawks in the Eastern Conference Final, and I think would have lost to the Suns in the finals. So technically, it's a good what if for me. So Chris Paul, Book, and the Suns will have a ring, if you know what I mean, in 2021.
Right. No, I get you. I get you with that. With that,
look, man, I'm a Chris Paul hater, so I don't think he deserves any ring. I do not like him.
I don't think he deserves that. Yeah.
You ever what if for yourself, KBM? You ever what if for yourself if you had a time machine?
If I wanted to leave it to just the Knicks, or if I wanted to expand it into something else,
it could be either or. It could be anything.
I really wanted to see what a prime Derrick Rose would have looked like without any knee injuries. Now, if we put it to the Knicks, I really wanted to, in the short term, I really wanted to know what Kristaps would look like if he hadn't torn his ACL and his pairing with whatever iteration of the Knicks would be right now. It's just in the micro that I'm thinking right now.
So you waste your pick on Porzingis. You wouldn't save it and just draft Spider over Frank?
I mean,
I'm asking.
Oh.
You only get one pick. You only get one.
I didn't even think. Wow, Spider over Frank. I'm not even thinking about how many of these draft picks we've screwed up over the last 20 years. I didn't even get to think about that, man.
Well, let me just say this real quick. If let me use G Money's thing. If you had a time machine and you could fix some stuff this year, what would you do?
Ooh, I was wish we could have gone either DeJounte Murray from the trade. The thing about San Antonio pretty much traded a Cheeto and Gallinari. Excuse me, Atlanta traded a Cheeto and Gallinari for DeJounte Murray. We could have gone for DeJounte Murray potentially. This year, well, this kind of relates to this year. I would have prevented Fournier from coming here. I would have. Even though I mean, and I would prevent us from trading out of the draft.
Wow.
When is the next? When is the next draft?
June. It's June.
June.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the front office mess up this draft for the third time.
I would say, well, some things are a certainty, right? But what I would say to this iteration of the Knicks, I think there were a lot of mistakes made, right?
Agreed.
So for one, the Donovan Mitchell deal being held up for Quentin Grimes is something that Knicks fans will never get over.
That's what I gotta change that too. Yeah,
right, because it stirs up too much emotion. Right, the Donovan Mitchell trade stirs up emotion, right? Because not because Donovan Mitchell is not a great player, or Quentin Grimes shouldn't be put on a certain pedestal, and he won't be. The thing is, it's cut and dried. Do you trade a bunch of guys that have potential for a guy that you already know can do it? Right? Now you could be on one side of that or the other. Right? No, I'm gonna save my guys with all this potential because one day there'll be something. Or you say, hey man, let me trade all these guys because I don't know which one's gonna pop. And if one does or not, I'm just gonna go get Donovan Mitchell right now and take my chances with a blank roster and Donovan Mitchell. And for a lot of us, we say trade for Donovan Mitchell and take your chances with a blank roster.
Yeah.
Right? If when you look at it today, after you saw how we lost to the Dallas Mavericks, a lot of Knicks fans said, I'm glad we didn't trade all that for Donovan Mitchell. Do you still feel that way today after the way you saw we lost to the Dallas Mavericks?
Because Mitchell could have helped us with ball handling, slice into the hoop, and all that, though.
I don't know, Freezy, if we did get it done, I would be happy. But I also would know it would buy more time for this inept front office to screw it up even worse somehow. Because knowing what I know about this front office now, they would have gotten Donovan Mitchell and wasted him, squandered him, and then he would leave.
Dre, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you this, and I know y'all want to chop it up, bro. I'm gonna say this and get out of the way, right? A great front office gets things right about 35% of the time. Right. A good front office gets everything right about 30% of the time. Right. A bad front office gets stuff right about 10% of the time and then brag about it and have the PR department point to it. Right.
And they put up tweets and stuff about it.
And alternate jerseys of that. You know what I'm saying? They get alternate jerseys of Anthony Randolph.
Right.
For instance, what's the guy? Jeremy Tyler.
Or like popping fireworks when we won one playoff game in the first round, confetti when we beat the Heat.
Yes.
We do stuff like that. We do stuff like that.
Bro, the Knicks acquired Jeremy Tyler from Golden State, right? Remember Jeremy Tyler?
Yeah.
And Knicks PR was like, Jeremy Tyler is the future. of the power forward position.
Oh, he was
They
the
did-
future, right? Future disaster.
And then ironically, they did that 5 years before with Anthony Randolph
Right.
from the
And the thing
Warriors.
about because Jeremy Tyler was about Amari Stoudemire's size, but he played center.
Mhm.
Right? But Jeremy Tyler had a little bit of touch away from the rim, and Amari didn't. So you
Right.
take that little small snippet, and now you want to pull 33 out of the Raptors and give it to Jeremy Tyler.
Oh boy.
He was 6'9" Anthony Bennett.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Woo! Another
Oh,
crazy
God.
one is
You know,
And Freezy to say that like the 10% of the time that would have been the 10% that we gotten right, and then we would have just had terrible roster construction around Donovan Mitchell, and then Donovan Mitchell would have left in like 2 or 3 years.
very
Right.
possible. Very possible.
So yeah, so man, the thing I'm getting at is right now we have a bad front office that gets things right 10% of the time, but it looks like they get things right 30% of the time because what they do is make a mistake and then they go back the following year and correct it. So we get so excited about the correction that we forget about the mistake.
Facts. Ooh, another crazy what if that I would change if I had a time machine. This
I'll be
was
right.
the
I'm gonna go
Knicks.
get a water. I'll be right.
Take your time. Another crazy what if that I would change this loss to the Knicks, prevent Andre Bayani trade. That was just dumb.
Oh God, that is the
They
worst
traded
trade in
Novak.
Knicks history.
G Money, why are you bringing up previous traumas?
I remember when Andre Bargnani took that 3 that nobody asked him to
No.
take, and
Forget
Walt
that.
Clyde was like, "What are you doing?"
He tried to dunk from the free throw line.
Oh
I guess
yeah,
the
he
16
like
got- he got
almost
hurt.
flipped his elbow inside out,
He
falling.
was out for a while.
Oh
Chat said
God,
Anthony Early.
Oh, Anthony Early. Oh boy.
we hyped up Anthony early, a 2nd-round pick, just the same way we hype
Do
up
that.
all our 2nd-round
We do
picks.
that to all our prospects, dude.
Ron Baker, the shot maker, and
Every
we gave him a contract.
they traded Ron Baker for
Who-
and
Who
semi-pro.
in their right mind was giving Ron Baker a $9 million contract? And who in the entire league was doing that?
Because he did really good high knees in the timeouts.
Mhm.
The most notable thing he's known for is getting elbowed in the face by Anthony Davis.
Good.
Carl Anthony.
What about Jose Calderon? Do you think we could have prevented that from happening, getting Jose Calderon?
What did we trade for him, or did we just sign him?
I think it had to be a signing, though.
What do you think about Jarrett Jack?
Jared Jack
I
taking reps
I
away
never
from
hated
Frank
Jared Jack.
Ntilikina.
I thought it was all right. I never mind that, to be honest.
Like we
I know
knew
he was
Frank
a brand, but
Ntilikina.
it's all right.
We knew Frank Ntilikina sucked, but you still started like a 40-year-old point guard over
Dude,
him when he could have just
if I
used
had
the
a time
reps
machine-
anyway.
Facts. If I had a time machine, we could have gotten Michael Porter over Frank. We could have gotten Michael Porter. I know you had back problems.
Man, we're the Knicks, man, and they're under like a terrible. He is an albatross contract. Legit, he might be one of the worst contracts. He might be the worst contract in the NBA right now.
Right.
Who?
Literally. So, knowing
Who's
the Knicks and we make things worse, we'll probably make Michael Porter Jr.
I wouldn't say he's the worst contract.
Bro, because he's
Russell
making
Westbrook's
max,
making
and he's
Million's the worst contract.
yeah, but at least he can be. He's expiring. There's like 3 more years left on that Michael Porter deal, and they gave him max,
Ooh,
and he
and
can't even play.
Right, and I have another
And
what
they're
if, and this
wasting
relates
an
to-
MVP's prime right now because of that money.
Right. And speaking of guys who aren't wasting their primes or future primes, is Tyrese Halliburton. If I had a change, I could have prevented us. I like Obi, but I could have prevented us from getting Tyrese Halliburton.
We would have done him like the Kings did him and have him coming off the bench, man.
Potential.
Even if his talent is obvious. Like I'm gonna keep it real, man. Tyrese Maxey will come off the bench if Tibbs is the coach, man.
Don Nix has a good one. If he had a time machine, he'll go back and give Pat Riley anything to stay as our coach. What about that? Don Nix said that on the chat.
At least Pat Riley tries to win like earnestly every year, even though he's been giving out like terrible contracts the last 10 years. but he's hit on certain guys enough where it kind of outweighs that. We've
True.
never hit on anything. So,
Right. Another one that I would do, prevent JR from fighting with Jason Terry, hitting Jason Terry in the face in game 3. I'll prevent that from happening. Tell him to, because think about it, JR wasn't the same after that in 2013 playoffs.
I won't even say that. He just wasn't. Like some guys are just not good players, man. That's really what he was. Because he was with Melo in the playoffs before on Denver.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was.
never a good
Yeah, in
playoff player.
2012, when he got smoked by Miami. Yeah, in 5. Yeah.
So like
He had
it's
really
you can't.
clock in the finals.
Oh
What'd you say,
god.
Z?
I said Jim Smith is the clock management god in the finals.
Big time facts, and he screwed up that series, man, potentially.
That man was dribbling out the ball in a tight
And
game.
also George Hill choked the free throw too, and also George Hill was clunking and breaking freebies too.
I mean, not that it would have mattered though, because they would have lost that series anyway.
Yeah,
Even
probably.
if they swept the first game, it would have been like Allen Iverson taking the first game from the Kobe Shaq series. Yeah,
Probably, or even they may have won another game. That's it at most.
I don't know. Game 2 and 3,
man. they motorboated them. They just roughshod. They just got them up out of there.
Right.
It took a Herculean effort from LeBron to even make that game close the first game.
Facts. That's a good point. Ooh, what about the Melo trade? Will you prevent the Melo trade from happening so we can kept our guys and pay trade for
those guys were garbage. Well, they're not garbage, but they were easily worth what Melo was worth. The thing is, our issue after that was that Amari broke down, and we didn't make any good move after that. Like we still had a good season. Like Melo was so good that we still won 54 games, while we had like Amari on dead cap, like about 20 million dead cap, just sitting there not doing anything. So like
the rest of the roster were wing players that were one dimension. Oh my god! Oh.
You mean to tell me if you had a time machine, Freezy, you wouldn't go back to the Bobby Portis year and sign 3 more power forwards?
Hell no! I signed 4 more power forwards.
Fast. Maybe 10.
I mean, we drafted a power forward, and then we signed one this summer.
No, you got RJ Barrett, Kevin Knox, and 13 power forwards.
Yes, and then we also signed Ivan Rabb to a 2-way.
Yeah.
Hey! Don't forget Isaiah Hicks, guys. Don't forget Isaiah Hicks.
And no, also let's get Quincy AC back in here.
Quincy AC.
Quincy AC is the boldest dude.
He could have been our
tough.
that year.
He was tough like gum on your hair, though. He was tough like gum on your hair.
Yeah, but he was
about as useful as gum in your hair.
Yeah, as useful as that too. And he would tell people that he was 6'7", and we know good and well Quincy AC wasn't no 6'7".
He was 6'4".
Yeah. Crazy.
Shout out to Lance Thomas, whatever he's doing right now.
Lance Thomas. Oh boy, LT. Oh boy.
Yo, he's still bragging. Lance Thomas is somewhere bragging. Like, yeah, I made them jokers pay me for 3 whole seasons. He's somewhere bragging, bro. He's somewhere in the bar right now buying drinks, bragging about how he made the Knicks pay him for 3 years.
Ooh, and D Cools from the chat has a juicy what if. We should have signed DeRozan over Kemba and Fournier. That's a good what if. What do you think about that? If you had a time machine, would you have done that?
DeRozan
over Kemba
and Fournier.
Who would have been the point guard though? Because it would have been Alfred Payton again, and then we'd have the all-time worst spacing in NBA history.
Yeah, but
Payne was gone, but we have a habit of just re-signing guys if we miss out on who we really want. Yeah. So like the reason why Alfred Payton came back the second year is because we missed out on who we wanted, so we just needed a stopgap.
Yeah, and
it's like here, take $6 million.
He was gone.
He's like here, take $6 million.
Yeah,
nobody else wanted him.
It's not $6 million. We cut him, and we bought him back for $4 million, but it was a $1 million thing because when we cut him, we had to pay him $1 million. So he made $5 million and then came back the next year and made 4 plus $1 million. So you can't lie and say you cut him because of cap space, because you paid him the same amount dollar for dollar.
Right.
Like Alfred Payne was supposed to be like a 10, 12-year vet, and Tibbs just ruined his value so much that he just is not even in the league right now.
He ran him in the ground.
And speaking of Tibbs, another what if I would prevent Reggie Bullock from leaving. So you end up signing Fournier. What do you think?
I mean, Reggie is Fournier. It's proven.
Reggie Bullock would have been out here traveling as soon as he gets the ball anyway.
He was a much better defender than what we got at the 3 spot.
It's true.
Me and Hoodie Kev were just talking about that earlier today.
Oh, I bet you Hoodie was thrilled to talk about Reggie Bullock.
He would
R&B. As what Ron said, R&B.
Reggie Bullock would change our trajectory from a 36-win team to a 38-win team. How about that?
Still,
that is impressive.
Are we?
Brother.
We're the like 2 wins. What's 2 wins worth? We need to value every win we can get.
Facts.
We need to value every loss we can get. That's what we should do.
Ooh, and I have a good what if. How about helping LeBron come to New York in 2018 this summer? Because remember, his wife didn't want him to go. Maybe I can convince the wife to let LeBron come to New York. Think about that.
Right.
Because who knows? Would have traded for AD? Who knows?
Right. Traded what for AD? What do we have? Like the Lakers legitimately had the best offer by far for AD.
They traded.
And the Knicks didn't want to put Frank Ntilikina in the AD trade. Y'all remember that? Remember that was all over Twitter? No,
when Frank
Ntilikina trade.
When Frank Ntilikina couldn't start over what's his name that we just mentioned?
Sessions and Jared Jack.
Yeah. Jared Jack. He couldn't start over that, but we
Jared Jack. Wow.
And it's Canner. Oh man, the defensive player of the year.
Woo! He was tough like nails on D. Yep.
And it's freedom.
Bro, he made Patrick Star a better defender.
Ennis Canner's actually suing the NBA right now.
Were free to do whatever the heck they wanted on the court.
Bro,
you remember when he was Freeze? You ever see him on the Colin Cowherd show? Like when he was with Portland, right after he repeatedly gave Steph Curry 10+ feet of room.
Yeah.
And he was like, "What are you doing here?" And his Canner was like, "Well, you just got to let him shoot." And what?
Yeah.
Let Steph Curry shoot open threes. That's smart.
Yeah, that's smart. And then when he brings shot in your eye.
I mean, even if you were to cover him, it would just be a layup. So either way, he's shooting 1,000%.
Right. At least give some effort.
Fast. And speaking of Currys and flurries, another crazy way to prevent us from getting Jordan Hill, and we could have gotten Steph Curry or DeRozan in the draft. One of them.
I mean, but that's we never even had a chance at them. We never had a chance at them.
We were picked away. What'd you say, Z?
That's not a chance that they were going to take him. Like the only way we had a chance is if we were to trade up. I mean, but that's neither here nor there.
But Dre, you know what though? You didn't have to panic right there. You know why? Because all you had to do was take a deep breath and then write DeMar DeRozan on your card.
We would have screwed up his development 100%. Like I'm sure
him or Curry, one of them.
Because it took DeMar maybe 3-4 years of seasoning to like become what he became with the Raptors. And I'm not even sure we would have.
Let me push back.
I'm not even sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna push back on that just a smidge. Because I think it wasn't DeMar DeRozan that needed seasoning. I think it was a young NBA franchise that couldn't find their way that needed seasoning.
Right.
Once they learned to value players, because remember that Toronto team, they would get a young player, he would be a stud, and they would lose him.
True.
All right. And so, and they figured out that just because Toronto is a big city like Dallas or Los Angeles, it don't mean people want to come there. So what they started doing is they started valuing players. Think about when they changed the name, their motto from a cartoon dinosaur to We the North. Why do you think they changed their thing? Because they realized that just because you put a cartoon dinosaur on your jersey doesn't mean people want to come there.
Those jerseys fire though.
I
Yeah,
mean,
right.
I'm keep it real. It's hard to get NBA players to want to come there because their taxes are even worse than New York's, and it's
Raptors
cold
should bring those
all the
jerseys
time.
back. Raptors should bring those jerseys back. Those were fire like these.
I was looking up like the unfair advantage actual larger markets have, and like if you look up California taxes, unless you present like a culture of going to win, which is why like the Warriors weren't really good for a long time. Like there's no real incentive to go there because those taxes in like actual large markets dwarf like smaller markets. Like you can get like I saw something a few years ago where on paper Stephen Curry made way more money than Mike Conley, but Mike
Mhm.
Conley and Stephen Curry evened out after taxes to the same amount, the same dollar figure. Like I think Mike Conley made more money because Memphis's like taxes were so much less than the California tax. So it's like unfair. Like which is it kind of puts us in a difficult space where if you don't develop a winning culture, it's gonna be even harder to attract guys and then like having to overpay on top of the fact to compensate to even bring guys here makes it harder. So
Well, well,
yeah.
right. Sure. Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead, you got it.
Right. Sherman says, after doing a lot of thinking in my analytical mind, New York, Detroit, Orlando, Houston, San Antonio are the 5 worst teams in the NBA. Who do you think will get the top pick?
Who do I think?
Out of that group,
San
Yeah, New
Antonio.
York, Detroit, Orlando, Houston, San Antonio.
I think they're probably give it to Houston. Right.
Probably.
I think they're gonna give it to San Antonio.
I was thinking that too. But I said
Pop and a
Houston.
generational big go together like peanut butter and jelly.
Right. It's like your hot dog in the bun.
But Dre, if you know that already, that means a lot of people know that.
Mhm.
You feel me? Like, how can you keep giving San Antonio generational? Every time a generational big come out, he wound up going to San Antonio.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you know, that's what I was thinking when, you know, but to okay. I'm gonna say this to you guys, and you guys will probably think I'm crazy. I promise you, I'm only drinking seltzer water.
Okay.
Right?
Black cherry vodka.
Black cherry vodka. Yeah.
Black cherry, baby.
What I'll say to you guys is this: I don't think the Knicks are far away from being a second round exit team. Right? And mind you, when I say second round exit team, I mean that's the cap.
Right.
I think the Knicks are a maybe 3 moves or less from being that team, right?
Right.
But how do you get there? How do you get there?
Mm-hmm.
One, Jalen Brunson is a midget.
Smaller than Jerry Mouse on defense. Slower than Jerry Mouse on defense. Yep.
Yep, and so you have to acknowledge that.
So
right?
he's a 6'1" power forward.
Yeah,
20.
yeah. So
You think he's Quincy AC? He can call himself 6'7"?
Yeah, that's Quincy, not for real. I'm 6'7". Quincy AC, bro. I'm a 6'5" human being, bro. I know what 6'7" looks like. You're not taller than me.
Jalen
Right.
Brunson, you're not 6'10".
Yes. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so here's the thing with Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is a Smurf. But we need him, right? And so we have to acknowledge that every good NBA player has some sort of flaw.
Yep.
Right? Like Giannis needs shooting around him because Giannis basically can't shoot.
Agreed.
Steph Curry needs athletic defenders around him because basically he's not an athletic defender.
Agreed.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So Jalen Brunson being a Smurf, you have to go get length to play with him in the backcourt.
Agreed.
Right?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Breezy, are you making a campaign for them to sign you as the shooting guard since you're 6'5"?
No. I'm a chewing guard. I like to eat. I like to eat. I'm a chewing guard. Right?
Do you want them? Do you want to be the strength and conditioning coach?
Yeah, and right after my nap.
And Z will be an assistant coach too, and we can put Z as the assistant coach.
Right.
Yeah, Freezy and I like getting off the couch contest.
Yeah.
Freezy just gonna show them the bulking food and just leave everything else.
I love Brunson. But Brunson is clumsy. Brunson is clumsy Smurf, a great defender. Jeez.
And so I guess what I'm getting at is if Brunson is your on-ball guy for 55-60% of the time, you need to go get a guy that's going to be on the ball about 30% of the time. Right? The other 10%, you let Randall and RJ ISO, whatever. Right? Go get SGA.
Facts.
SGA and Brunson in the backcourt, both of them handle, bro, as complementary.
Yep.
Right? It's not like putting sauce on your steak. It's like having a baked potato and shrimp scampi beside your steak.
Oh, that would be yummy.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you do that, what you do is you save the way. I don't know if y'all noticed this yet or not, but Jalen Brunson has a bunch of wear and tear on him already.
He does. He's
getting beat up right now.
He's getting beaten up like a sack of potatoes.
Right. The point I'm getting is Jalen Brunson has no help defensively and with ball handling duties.
True.
Right? Hey, think about who the second unit point guard is. Who's the second unit point guard?
It's really more
Exactly. You see what G Money did just there? It should be Rose, but it's actually quickly until we need a bucket, then it's Rose. Right?
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, right.
But we need clear, defined roles, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Go get you an SGA type player.
Here's the problem, though, with a lot of Knicks fans. Are you willing to give up RJ Barrett in that trade? I am.
Yeah,
I would do that. I would probably would. I would consider.
The problem is, why would they want RJ Barrett?
No, I get it. I just meant like
unless you
RJ
gave up
Barrett, they'd be like, that's too much. Give him Fournier and 1 second-round pick.
Yeah, 1 second-round pick in 2035, right?
Yeah, and then even that's pushing it.
Even that's pushing it for a Knicks fan.
Yeah, we might need 2 first-rounders back in return.
Right.
How would this look to y'all? How would y'all feel about Jalen Brunson, SGA, and Cam Reddish as your wing players, as your ball handlers?
I feel better than we do now.
Right, with Grimes coming off the bench or going in that trade. Right. And then you having Randall and Mitch. So you're talking about Brunson, SGA, Cam, Randall, Mitch, and your bench being Hartenstein, Obi, Grimes, Quickly, Rose.
Ooh, that's a playoff team.
No disrespect to RJ Barrett. I love RJ. And it's merely hypothetical. But if we're talking about the future of Knicks basketball, at some point we have to think beyond today.
Yep.
The future is ahead of us, not right now. Right now is called the present. Right? Mm-hmm. And if we keep thinking about today, Leon Rose and them are thinking about today. What are we going to do today? How do we get better today? You hear Thibodeau say it all the time. Man, we got to get better today. Every day we come in. Every time you hear him is day.
The thing with Leon Rose is he talks out the side of his mouth, because when we do the end season press conferences, he's always talking about prioritizing development and then trying to win. Now you can't pick both. You can't do both.
Right.
You cannot do both. You can't do both. And he's talking out the side of his mouth because he really doesn't know much about basketball, because if he did, he wouldn't prioritize those. But there's a reason why those press conferences are really scripted, and because you can't ask him stuff about basketball off the cuff because he doesn't know anything about basketball.
Ooh, right. And speaking of Leon Rose, if you had a time machine, would you prevent Leon Rose from being part of the organization? If you had a time machine, would you prevent Leon Rose?
If I had a time machine, I would do that trade for Masai Ujiri. Remember that crazy?
That's what I was. I've been saying that for like a few weeks. Like I would have given up multiple picks just to get Musai in the building and let him figure it out. Yeah.
Man, imagine how good New York would be with Masai. Woo, been dangerous.
And look, and Sherwin has an excellent point. You can only work with what you have. Tomorrow may never come.
True.
Right. But Sherwin, you said that last week, right? You said that last week, and 14 tomorrows came.
Yep.
I seen someone in the chat say RJ for Keldon. Keldon Johnson is legitimately one of the only wings in the league shooting worse than RJ right now.
Keldon Johnson
also,
has time to be streaky. Yeah.
He's not streaky. He's shooting legitimately worse than RJ by a wide margin.
You
Like
talking
he
about
has a
Keldon
true
Johnson
shooting.
from San Antonio?
Yeah,
Right.
he's shooting like his true shooting is like 41% in the last month.
Real quick,
Guys, that's about to talk.
Real quick for that Sherwin point. That's why you make trades to improve your roster, because tomorrow's not promised. You got to improve it today.
Right.
Or make moves to improve it in the future. I'm not operating like tomorrow's not promised, because if we kept doing that, we would just make more trades like we did for the guy from the Raptors. They telling you let's Bargnani. You have to prioritize. You have to have a goal in mind. Because if you keep just trying to do stopgap moves and winning for today while you don't have a generational talent on your team is a farce.
Okay, but SGA would be our generational talent.
Big time for us.
And also,
I would say SGA is good, but he's not a generational talent. He's not going to wake up and be. He's not going to be Luka though.
And he can block.
not
And he
going
can
to be
protect.
Luka.
And he is a good perimeter defender. Sure,
he's a 30-point per game scorer that plays great defense. He's a good playmaker.
Facts.
And it hasn't. Like if we were to swap Luka with SGA, OKC would be at least a 500 team just because. Like there are good players, there are guys that get numbers, but they're also straight raw impact on teams. And I feel like Luka is in that top 3 category, and SGA may actually get up to that point. But Luka is that right now, while they're almost the same age. We have to keep it real. Like SGA is
Yeah,
nice.
but you're not getting Luka in a trade. That's not
exactly. That's why.
So would
that's
you rather?
What separates both of them.
So you
Because
would rather stay what we're doing.
SGA is actually attainable. That should show you enough. That the one is not
So
the
you
other.
would rather continue to trade back the draft for second down and sign Jalen Brunson guy players to $100 million contracts?
That's unfortunate.
Or would you rather go out for an actual star?
I would rather try to draft him.
Guess what? We're not gonna. We trade back in every draft.
Yeah. That's what happens when you don't pick a direction.
Trey, you got something going on with your mic, bro.
Oh, that's I'm sitting on my cable. I'm sitting on my cable. Am I better? I should be better now.
Yeah.
Ooh, and I have another what if, and this involves Pat Ewing. What if I prevented the suspensions from happening in 1997 against the Heat? Who knows? New York could have beaten Miami. I'm not saying we beat Chicago and Utah, but we could have had an opportunity. Who knows?
I think we beat Chicago.
Oh, you think New York would have beaten Chicago that year?
Yeah, one of the best teams the Knicks ever had.
Wow. And if they do, did he beat Utah?
Yes.
Wow.
And probably sweep Utah.
Sweep Utah? Whoa.
Yep. Yeah, think about what the Knicks had at their disposal to guard Karl Malone.
Good point.
And think about what the Knicks had at their disposal to guard John Stockton. Now, John Stockton is not the type of guy that is going to take a ton of shots, right? But if you can keep Stockton on the perimeter oriented, right. I think the Knicks can kind of, And John Stockton, to me, I'm going to say this, and I know people are going to laugh. John Stockton is the second best point guard of all time. Period. And it's not even close. And the number one point guard of all time is Steph Curry. And I know people are gonna say, man, Uncle Freezy, you drinking that dark cherry fizzy water. But when I say somebody is the greatest, that means I believe they revolutionized the game, right?
That's a good point.
Steph Curry turned the league into a 3-point shooting league by merely outdoing everybody so much at it that they were forced to do it to keep up with him.
That is true. That is true.
And John Stockton took a old clunky whack offense, the pick and roll, and mastered it so much that 20 years after he retired, teams are still running it.
High pick and roll. They just extend it now.
Right.
That's all.
Right. Think about right. And
Magic
think about,
Johnson didn't revolutionize the game.
What did he do to revolutionize?
I mean, I'm the show. You got to think about the Showtime Lakers and what happened.
No, I mean,
there.
I'm saying
fast paced, breakneck speed.
No, but they weren't running the fast break before Magic and after Magic.
I mean, not exactly before he had invented the Showtime. That Magic
I wanted to say he normalized the giant point guard, but Oscar Robertson was doing that before.
Yeah, everything Magic Johnson did. The Boston Celtics were Showtime before the Lakers. It just didn't have a name. Right. The Boston Celtics. Matter of fact, it does have a name. I'm sorry. They called it fast break, but the term now is so normal that, you know what I'm saying, that we don't look at it like that. The 60 Celtics had this thing called fast break where Bill Russell would get a rebound, kick it out, and they would go up and down the floor.
Also, Freezy, Magic Johnson was a 6'9" guy that handled the ball all the time. Didn't see that before him.
Right.
And he can.
He could
hit a mid-range sometimes.
He also, though, a lot of 6'9" guys would be considered like a small forward. I know he was a point guard,
right?
But he kind of revolutionized that point forward type of deal, like a bigger guy handling the ball and being good at it.
Right.
I mentioned Oscar Robertson, but it wasn't as common. It became more common after Magic, but Oscar Robertson was a big, giant point guard, essentially.
Right, 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah, guards were big. Guards were big back in the day, bro. Minute guards didn't start. People weren't running minute guards until the 80s. Tiny guards? No. But my point is, for those that say if you don't think Steph Curry revolutionized the game, look at NBA basketball prior to Steph Curry's draft, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then look at the game after Steph Curry's draft.
True, but also technically, Agent Zero Gilbert Arenas also started the long range bombing too. Technically, Gilbert Arenas.
Wait.
He just wasn't efficient at it.
Wait a minute. Did you say Gilbert Arenas started long range bomb?
No.
You actually gotta give credit to that small point guard that was with the Cavs.
Or you have to look at the NBA logo.
Right.
Jerry West.
I mean, come on, y'all.
Yeah.
Come on, y'all. This dude, they call him the dude is alive, and they call him the logo.
It's the dominant players put an imprint on what styles get played. Like if you were to put it this way, like the dominant big men started.
Yeah, that's my point.
Coming, the dominant big man started triggering.
One of them.
Like hold on. Let me get to a point. Like dominant big men. Like Wilt Chamberlain led to Kareem, led to there being a whole dominant big man era. And then Michael Jordan came in and he taught guards how to isolate and destroy teams from the mid post and handle a game from the perimeter. And then Stephen Curry initiated the whole isolation from 30 feet out.
Wait a minute, too.
Michael Jordan didn't.
Yeah.
Are you saying a 6'6" guard revolutionized?
Jerry West was first, but I'm saying there was still the big man was still dominant. Jerry West stuck out in that era, and I was saying almost immediately after Michael Jordan in like the 96, 97, we saw this whole era of isolation basketball where everyone was trying to play exactly like Mike, where every team had one or two guys that wanted to score at the mid post, and they would do it very inefficiently. Like teams would draft guys like Jerry Stackhouse, and he put up 30 points on 38 field goal percentage trying to play like Mike. In the 2000s, it was straight isolation basketball, working out the mid post. Like even LeBron James tried to like emulate Mike in that way. Even though he was a giant point forward, he tried to do a lot of those things.
That's right. I'm not saying those things did not occur.
Okay.
What I'm saying is your timeline is off.
Okay.
Crazy.
Right.
What about
Because a dude named Elgin Baylor was 6'5", right? He did the same thing Michael Jordan did, except he would jump in the air and comb his hair while he was doing it.
what about
He would type it. He would write a letter to his girlfriend while he was in the air. This is how good these dudes were. Like, these dudes are so good, bro. Like the old time, and I don't expect everybody to remember NBA history, but look, Jerry West is a better shooter than Steph Curry. Okay, people say Steph Curry is the greatest shooter ever. How about we say Steph Curry is the greatest shooter that you ever saw,
Or greatest 3-point shooter, arguably.
or that you ever saw, right?
Right, because shooting is more than just threes. It's also mid-range and all that.
Yeah, because about 30 years ago, people used to say, "Man, Reggie Miller is the greatest shooter ever," and I'm like, Reggie Miller, bro, you don't remember Pistol Pete and Jerry West?
Sure.
Bro, you don't remember Dale Ellis, Del Curry? I mean, I get where y'all coming from, bro. I get where y'all coming from, and I'm not trying to knock, you know what I'm saying, whatever.
You still haven't mentioned Alfred Payton.
There's also Ray Allen.
Alfred Payton.
Yeah.
God.
Hey, hold on for just a split second, y'all. Hey, Chris says he has the flu. Hey, Chris, we sorry that you sick, brother.
Jeez.
Hey, get well soon, man.
Get well soon. Take some chicken noodle soup, get some medicine, and rest up.
Yeah, man. Rest up, man. Take care of yourself.
Take a lot of fluids, cool cat.
Yep. Go ahead, y'all. I'm sorry. I just wanted to highlight Chris.
Right. Ooh, and I have another great one. Another one. What if for me for a time machine? Game 6, 94 finals. Tell John Starks to pump fake so he can get a clean look at the free, and he might win the game. Because remember, Hakeem rejected the shot. Remember?
Yep.
Hey, Breezy, you remember back in the day when Hoodie Kev used to say if you got John Starks on the show, he would go at him.
Yeah, I would have ran the Hoodie Kev house, bro. And y'all know how much I love John Starks. Yeah, man. I love Starks. I don't disrespect NBA players like that because, you know what I'm saying, these dudes are good. These dudes are good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that.
You know, and to say like some dudes is garbage because he didn't hit a shot, that's crazy.
That is kind of disrespectful, yeah.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for Starks, man.
Right.
Agreed, man. Man, Starks was underrated. Could fly. One of my favorite Starks moments when he baptizes Horace Grant and MJ. That was beautiful in the playoffs in '93. That was beautiful.
And for years, Jordan denied that he got dunked on for years, and then the posters start coming out.
Right. I can look at Marv Albert. Starks, yes.
Yep.
Well, Jordan denies that anything bad ever happened in his career.
Oh yeah.
He never did anything wrong.
Michael Jordan also never committed a foul.
It was all Isaiah Thomas.
I'm not about to lie to y'all. If I got that great at anything, I'm controlling the narrative at all times.
Yeah.
he drops these documentaries just to like make sure he stays at the front of everyone's minds.
But it was really the clear Michael Jordan from being an a-hole documentary.
Yeah.
Like it was give Michael Jordan everything in the world.
Personally, I thought the only Bulls I thought they were fair was the rest of the Bulls except Scotty. I thought in the documentary, The Last Dance, I thought they were fair for the whole Bulls team except Scotty. They didn't treat Scotty with any respect at all. You watch the documentary.
Yeah, I think it was crap. The whole thing.
Really?
Entertaining.
They treated Rodman nice and the other team and MJ, but they didn't treat Scotty with respect at all.
They didn't really do good to Horace Grant either.
And Grant too, yeah.
I liked it personally, but I mean,
it was good. It just
it was good filmmaking, but that's not the reason why I say
it was great storytelling.
The reason why I say it is because the Knicks, a dude had just the year before wrote a book called Blood in the Garden, right? And a lot of people were hyped about the old school Knicks and all that stuff. And I think Michael Jordan and his people use that as a business decision to keep Air Jordan selling. And because I don't know if y'all noticed, have y'all seen that the new Jordans, all of the new Jordans be whack, bro? I don't know if y'all see that or not. People buy more of the retros, it seems like, than
The
they
ones
do
that
of the
Luke could be
current.
wearing, Luke and Zion,
Yeah.
they're ugly.
Yeah.
I mean, the last good Jordan to me was like the 18s for me personally. The 18s were the last good one to me.
Right.
It's
Personally,
just,
I think the Jordan 12s were the last good ones.
oh damn! I mean, you didn't like the 13s? 13s were fire to me.
No, I think that now, mind you, I'm a Knicks fan, right? I'm a Knicks fan in my heart, bro. I'm a Knicks fan in my heart.
Yep.
But I feel like the Jordan 11s are the greatest shoe ever created. Period. I have them, bro. I think the construction of them are fire. Right.
The patent leather.
Yeah, like I have the ruby red ones. There are some sky blue ones, the Concord blue ones. The black on black ones.
I'm a Jordan 3 guy.
Is that
But
the
I'm
LOB
bored.
panel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm a Jordan 3 guy or 4 guy. I like the 7s too.
The sevens are dope. There are 7 lows, right? Those are when
Yeah, they have the lows are good. I like the lows and the highs.
Okay.
Both of them are good.
But basically, what I'm getting at is every time the Knicks do something, bro, it seems like somebody got to do something to take. Yo, we can't have the spotlight by ourselves.
Agreed.
Can we just have the spotlight to ourselves for a little while? The Blood in the Garden thing, I think, was a dope book. I still hadn't bought it, but from all the snippets that were read to me and that I read, it's a very well constructed book.
I bought that book for my father. I want to say last winter. I bought it for him.
Okay.
Yeah, he likes it. He loved it.
To go on, so we could have our own spotlight. Like all of us, since the Knicks aren't going to give it to us.
No. No, that's why we do. Yeah, that's why we do these joints right here, bro.
Chatting with all of you guys, fun, amazing. Yeah, man. And talking Knicks, talking life. It was these chats are so amazing and therapeutic too.
So G Money.
Yep.
I didn't get a chance to finish my thing on rebuilding the Knicks in a year and a half.
Okay.
So I go out and get SGA or some type of player like that. Right. Say it, whether it's SGA, a Devin Booker, some type of player, some type of big jumbo guard to go next to our Smurf. Right.
Bingo. Yep.
Right. And so from there, I have to upgrade the center position.
Yep.
I don't like Jalen Brunson with any of the centers that we have.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Yeah.
Right. So I get rid of that $26 million a year that was it 26 or 24? It's like 20.
Yeah, I talk about Mitch.
25.
Chris makes like, I mean, Jericho Sims makes makes a couple mil this year, I think 2.
He's talking about
Mitch makes 17. Mitch makes 17. And iHeart makes 8. Yeah, I'm adding it. I'm saying Mitch makes 17 this year. iHeart makes 8. And Sims makes 2.
Plus 2, that's 27.
Yeah.
So I take that $27 million a year that we're spending at center, plus the 18 mil from Evan Fournier, that's on the bench riding the pine, that's 45.
Big time.
And add Derrick Rose is 14.
59.
That's yeah. I take that and go out and get a big contract guy.
Hey, look, man, I would try to move Randall, not even like 60 cents on the dollar for Randall. It's not necessarily that he's a bad player, but for everything to happen in the correct timeline in a year and a half, like he kind of has to go. Like I don't want anybody on this team older than 25 at best.
So
I
so
don't, I
what
don't
do
want
you
How are
anybody
you
older
going
than
to have a
25.
winning team with everybody 25 or younger? When's there
Oh
ever been a
wait,
winning
wait.
team where
Well,
they're 25 or
his
younger?
his definition for fixing the Knicks would mean competing immediately, almost immediately within a year. And I think my approach is a little bit more slower, like maybe 3 years, but
Yeah, but we're trying to get Easy's goal of building them in a year and a half.
yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Freezy's goal actually pretty good.
I
Yeah.
For
Right.
one for you, a question: would you um try to turn Mitch and iHeart into like a Miles Turner, a guy who can do what Mitch does, but also shoot the three and space the
I
floor
would.
out?
I
No,
probably would.
I'm
You
not
would.
spending any money at center.
because Miles Turner wants to get paid pretty soon, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
Good point.
and
I'm
he's
going out.
gonna go for a premium.
Yeah, and I'm going out. I'm trying to find a Bismack Biyombo.
Mm. He's a good defender. He can block. He's like a blockness monster. Sometimes he's a good rebounder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You want
yeah,
to get your
because
beef
you're
too?
not a, and
Yep.
so you're not going to have a superstar at every position. So why pay the position like one?
True. What about Beef Stew, Isaiah Stewart? Would you consider him?
I love him. I love him, bro. I'll trade for him today.
Mm-hmm.
Take Obi. Take Obi right now.
Yeah. Yeah. He can, Beef Stew can stroke it from three. Sometimes can finish. Yeah. He's a good player. I know you.
He's tough.
And he's tough. He is tough. He is tough. He is tough like gum on the floor. Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Right. But what would you do for you, Freeze? Would you keep Randall? Would you keep Randall on the team if you're Freezy?
It depends on what the alternatives are.
Right.
Like, don't tell me trade Randall if I'm gonna have a rotation of Obi Toppin and Cam Reddish at the four.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. It is wrong. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Because off the rip, I would want to start Cam over Obi.
Right. I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree
And
with
Cam
that,
Reddish play the four on a nightly basis. It's just something for me to think about.
You don't want to watch Obi Toppin throw up UFOs in the garden?
Oh boy!
Oh,
and then
all
get
night
poster,
long?
and then give it, and then get posterized in the future.
I don't and I'm not knocking Obi like for the sake of knocking Obi, bro. But I think in today's NBA, you have to have two skills that you bring to the floor every night. Any night that you bring one skill to the floor, the team is at a disadvantage.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be either 3 and D, right? Or you got to be hustle and rebounding, defense and rebounding, right? You got to be 3-point shooter and playmaking.
Right.
And if you don't bring two skills to the floor, the other team's going to beat you.
Right.
Yeah.
It's simply what it is. Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Another question too. Some people keep saying we should fire Tibbs. Would you guys do it? I say right now, no. Would you guys do it?
Say, what was the question? What did you say?
Most Knicks fans are on the fire Tibbs train. What do you think? Do you think we should keep Tibbs, fire him? What do you guys think?
Hey, look, man, I'm scorching the earth. Scorched. Everybody going. Fire sale.
We
Everybody
do that
going.
every 2 to 3 years, though. That doesn't work.
Do we do that every 2 to 3 years? We usually have hangovers from every regime. Somebody hangs over. Steve Mills. It'll be some random assistant coach. There's always some guy staying over between regimes to commute the whole process.
We fire the
man.
coach. We fire the coach every 2 to 3 years. We change the roster every 2 to 3 years. It does not work. You need stability at the head coach position. You need stability at the front office position. You need stability in players. You can't change the roster every year. And
What
change
if
the
the
coach
stability that you're seeking is not conducive to winning in this current landscape of the NBA? Then what?
I mean,
Signing a bunch of guys that can't shoot and a bunch of unathletic players, and then miscasting the skill sets that they do have. How is that conducive to winning in this current NBA? It's not.
And
it's not.
You need
like like my fault. Go ahead, Z. My
It
bad.
doesn't make you talking and laughing over somebody, but it is truth. You look at every single team that builds a dynasty. They don't turn the roster over and turn the coaches and front office over every 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
There is no dynasty that does that.
Okay.
Yeah, but the dynasty started out by getting it right the first time. Because if most front offices in the NBA don't last forever, unless you're like OKC or something. That's about it. Most front offices there are turnover every 5, 6, 7 years.
Really,
That's just the nature of the business. But they were a dynasty and they got it right almost immediately. As soon as Pop took over, they damn near got it right and drafted a generational player. When are we gonna be put in position to draft a generational talent?
You realize they had a bunch of losing seasons to start off. They got David Robinson, then they got
They
Tim
had
Duncan.
one losing season with David Robinson when he got hurt.
He said
Otherwise,
before.
they
He said
wouldn't-
before. He said
Yeah,
before.
See, if you keep
otherwise,
looking up, you don't hear the whole thing, right?
because
Like,
your mic cuts in and out, so sometimes I don't know when you're saying or stopping or
So-
going. That's why.
David Robinson, they lost and got the first pick in the draft, ended up being the Admiral. Then they lost again and ended up getting Tim Duncan. And then they built through the draft throughout that. The matter of the fact remains, dynasties like the Warriors, the Spurs, they do not change their turnover with their coaches and roster and front office every 2 to 4 years. It does
I
not
hope
happen.
but I hope you know, like Popovich became the GM shortly before they got Duncan. He wasn't there for when they got what's his name, the Admiral. He wasn't there for that. Just so
I'm
you know.
also telling you that dynasties do not change their coach and their front office every 2 to 4 years. It doesn't happen.
It
Look
doesn't
up a
happen
dynasty that
because
does it.
they have generational talents that stay for 10, 15 years. Like you're comparing the Spurs situation.
Outs and rosters, they can't find this generational talent because they haven't been in the position long enough. You can't expect a team to a front office, a coach, a team to find this generational talent after being on the job a year. It doesn't happen. The next coach we bring in here, we're going to run out in 2 years. It happens every time. Freezy, do we not run great coaches or even out of here
Great
before
coaches?
Larry Brown, great coach?
Larry Brown, we screwed him up. We screwed up Larry Brown. Should have lasted longer.
Tom Thibodeau's not a top 10 coach record-wise in NBA history.
Yeah, Tom Thibodeau is a good coach.
He's a good coach, yeah.
He's still living off of that bullshit. Like the same thing that got Tibbs ran out of the Chicago, ran out of the Minnesota is the same thing we're going through right now.
But he's a better coach than we've had in recent memory. Him, Mike Woodson, and Larry Brown. Freezy, do we not run out coaches?
Your standards are very low, man.
I agree that we do run coaches out of town.
Sure.
Every 2 years.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing with the way we run coaches out of town, right? We don't. A lot of these coaches like Tibbs, we put them in these weird, all or nothing situations, right? We put them in an all or nothing. Excuse that, y'all. I'm sorry. You put him in a weird all or nothing situation where he has to be the savior, and when he struggles with being the savior, we want to run him out of town.
Not even just that, Freezy. Like they gave him he's a defensive coach. He was the 4th seed with a defensive team. And we take away his defensive players, give him Kemba and Fournier. Every coach we do it with, the Hornacek, we made him run the triangle. Every coach we do here, we hamper them in some way. We don't let them be themselves.
I could see that. I could see that.
So bringing in another
that's
coach
a
and hampering them
that's a very
is
good point in my opinion. The other thing too with coaches like Tibbs is we get into their regime and then we change direction midstream. Right? So we're like, Tibbs, we want you to come in and establish the culture. We want you to blah, blah, blah. And then you make the playoffs, and all of a sudden, Tibbs, it's playoffs a bust. You're like, wait a minute. Didn't you just say establish a culture? Didn't you just say bring these kids along? And then as soon as we establish the culture and try to bring things along, then you shift gears and it's like, man, well, plans change, things change. And listen, We just have to be patient with Tibbs
Also,
and other coaches. Now,
Sure.
as Tibbs reached his expiration date with this team, man, I don't know, but it
yeah, but
sure is getting dark early,
also
right?
too, Freezy, then you got some people who say playoffs are bust, so then he plays the players that are most ready to play now. And it's like, why aren't you developing the kids? Or why are you riding players too much? It's like, what Nick fans
That's
get
where he is right now.
perfect. And they wanted everything right now. They want instant gratification. They won't wait on nothing.
That's
Sounds
where
like
we are
bad
right
front
now.
office work, if you ask me. But you don't want to
Boom.
get rid of your front office, though. You want to keep it for stability, which is why I'm saying scorch the earth, because
Phil,
this front
okay,
office is terrible.
we scorched the earth after Phil Jackson. We're gonna scorch the earth
I-
after
But
Neil.
so how long are you willing to wait for a front office to show you signs of competency? Because I haven't seen it after 3 or 4 years.
They haven't been here in
So
3 to 4 years, dude. What are
yeah,
you
yeah, they
talking
have been
about?
they've been here 3 years.
Leon
This is
Rose.
this is 3 years now.
First was 2021 year, bro.
He got in at the end of the year,
Yeah, that's not a full year in 2020, bud.
and then
Not
we went into a season, overachieved. Then we doubled down with mediocre talent twice in back-to-back years with no real direction of what we want to do. And then we have our the leader of our franchise, the Leon Rose, talking out the side of his mouth in which direction he wants the team to go into. And you can't just pick two directions. You have to pick one.
One, yeah.
No, and that is incompetence. You cannot say that any which way. That is incompetence, and that is lying to the fan base.
Right.
And that's fine, because guess what? You're going to say the exact same thing about the next people that come. I'm not even saying Leon's the answer. What I'm saying is,
Because he
whoever,
for sure is not, man.
if we clean house is what I'm saying, getting at, and the next regime we bring in here, better give them a fair chance and not do the same stuff we do to every single regime.
I would. I'm in the point. I'm in agreement with you. But if we're gonna do the fair chance thing, we have to go in one direction for more than one season or a season and a half. We have to
I
go full
completely
in on one
agree.
direction for 3 or 4 years. But we don't do that. We start and stop, start and stop.
And
Then we
that's
have
the whole problem. That's what I'm saying. We agree. We're just coming to the point two different ways.
well, that's why I'm saying I want to scorch the earth, because I just want to get rid of. I want a clean slate, like Freezy said. I just want to start over and pick a direction and go in that direction without stopping.
That's fair.
3 or 4
That's
years.
fair, but we can't keep doing it. Is my point. We can't keep doing it all the time.
And to
True.
defend Uncle Freezy, he only said that because it was a hypothetical posed.
Right. And firing coaches willy-nilly doesn't solve all your problems, though. It really does not.
We still got a bum roster.
Yeah, we have a bad like I've said before. I don't know if you've been here, but I put the blame all around to every part of the
everyone
organization.
deserves, of course. Everybody deserves blame, of course. Tibbs at times, the players, the coaching staff, the front office, everyone deserves blame, of course.
Who deserves the most blame for this mess?
Leon Rose.
Front office by far.
Leon Rose deserves most of the credit.
And Quincy AC too.
Yeah,
and Lou and Alessi Shved. Yeah.
Yeah. Quincy AC for lying about his height. Yep.
Lou Amundsen for never cutting his hair.
Jeez. And also
or
Travis Ware.
Michael Beasley for being high all the time.
Or the left-handed Mello.
Beasley, stay off the weed.
Beasley was, bro.
And I blame Rogaine for not being on Tibbs' head.
Yes.
I blame Tibbs for growing a beard. I blame Tibbs for growing a beard.
And Barrett, one thing, stay off the 3-E. Sometimes.
Every time, like Freezy says, every time RJ Barrett shoots a three, a backboard ends up on a Sarah McLachlan commercial.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
In the arms of an angel.
Anything with Alfred Payne, stay off the 3-E.
Yeah, bro, I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. The RJ Barrett thing is so concerning to me at this moment. We're beyond say DEFCON 2. Bro,
I would
it's time to hit the panic button for RJ.
Does
I
it make you
pay
miss?
I would pay a good amount of money to never see Julius Randle take a step back three ever again. I would
Why is
pay
You're
I would
not
pay a
James, you're
nice
not
amount
James
of money.
Harden, bro.
At least $12.
Fast. Every time you see Julius trying to take a
You
step
can
back,
you can add a zero on that, but with like a decimal between the zero though. You got it.
Wow.
RJ Barrett shooting threes makes me miss Sasha Vujicic.
Vujicic. Yep.
Oh my God.
That
And
is
you only played well against Phoenix. What a
That's
coincidence.
very concerning.
You only played well against Phoenix. I guess that he should just stay at the Valley, though.
Right. Bro, I'm not even going. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. There are some things that are so concerning to me right now. RJ Barrett's jumper is concerning, but not the jumper itself, but the number of attempts that RJ Barrett feels like he can take on a nightly basis without some sort of repercussions.
RJ clunk it sometimes, man.
Yo, it makes you wonder, is RJ Barrett like, does he understand what's happening? You know what I'm saying? Like if you're RJ,
are we sure? But like Freezy, are we sure? Like Tibbs is not putting him up to this long.
I
Like,
know
are we
Tibbs
100%?
is doing it. I know he's doing it, bro.
But is it also the front office saying we paid this guy, now he's got to take the next step and get more shots? Like RJ Barrett, is it RJ got paid, now he doesn't care?
If the front office dictated who played or not, Obi would be playing more than 16, 17 minutes a game.
Right.
I mean, no, because they paid Randall the bag.
They paid Randall, but they also drafted Obi, and Leon Rose's son is his agent, and all these other things that come into it. Like, and you have to figure out what he's worth at some point.
Not paying Randall that much money to not play minutes is the problem. They paid Randall too.
Do y'all see OJ scoring 20, 30 points tonight's game?
Tonight
he could get 30. RJ could get 30 in any game if his jumper is going.
Right.
But it's just never going all the time.
18 to 20. I say RJ gets 18 to 20. I just have a feeling around 18 or 20 for RJ.
Yeah, 18 to 20 bricks. 18 to 20 spider cracks in the glass of the backboard.
Facts. And then the Knicks would be, and then the Cavs will put the Knicks 20 times in a spider cobweb.
Basically, bro.
Yep. What would it be?
Like Freezy, you think Tibbs is gonna make it to the Atlanta game if we lose this game?
Yes.
I think so. I think we'll survive that game. The fact the game's on ESPN too. Yeah. And
Let Donovan Mitchell drop 35 and we lose by 27 points. You really think he's gonna make it out that game?
Go crazy like he did last time in MSG. Let
Ricky Rubio's injured right now.
But his point is a Ricky Rubio type
performance.
Yeah, or a Ricky Rubio type player step up and do a random thing.
I don't think it can't be that. It has to be like Donovan Mitchell showing out and like celebrating. Like you remember when we traded Iman Shumpert and J.R. Smith, and then they came back to the Garden and blew us out and started throwing alley-oops and doing reverse dunks on us. It has to be like that, where he's catching alley-oops,
mess like that. Yeah,
and he's just like having a grand old time.
New York was so bad in 2015. That ESPN, TNT, ABC, NBTV did not want to show the Knicks.
They colluded and said, "Don't put the Knicks on TV."
Think about it. When was the last time ABC flexed off a game? Think about that. ABC, we're talking about here, though.
Right. They did before this season. They flexed us out of that Utah Jazz game because we were supposed to be on TNT.
Yeah, that's TNT, but I'm talking about ABC. I'm talking about ABC.
Still, I mean, it's still nationally televised, and they can still flex. They flex. I think they flexed us out of a few games this year already. When we didn't get the Donovan Mitchell deal done, we got flexed out of like 3 or 4 nationally televised games.
Yeah.
I'm being dead serious.
Yeah, we got flexed off what? The Jazz game to show the Nets and the Kings, and Sacramento pretty much went bucket binge with 153 points that night. By the way, that was the Kings' first TNT game since 2019. Just want to throw it out there. So yeah, what I'm saying is that New York was so booty juiced that year in 2015 that literally nobody want to watch the Knicks though. Literally, I mean, dang it, they showed a Celtics Pistons game one time over the Knicks and Pacers. Celtics and freaking Pistons in 2015. You can check.
I still can't believe I paid for League Pass that year. I mean, you want to talk about loyalty? We paid for this.
Yep.
That was when League Pass was $200. I was happy.
Yeah.
Now it's cheaper now. Yeah.
It's cheaper because of the Knicks. So at least that's one positive.
Man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a headache, bro. It's a headache trying to figure out all these things. But what I would say to you is this: I don't think we are. So, Dre, help me out with this, right? Help me out.
Yeah.
Help me formulate my thought, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I understand where Coach Zach is coming from about not giving these coaches a chance, right? And I understand where you're coming from, like, yo, come on, man, enough is enough already, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I understand both sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I also understand that we make the same mistake over and over and over and over again because we can't help ourselves. So instead of letting us go through the Groundhog's Day scenario,
right?
Why not do an intervention like what Dre said? Just stop, bro. Just stop everything and just burn it to the ground and start all over from scratch. Now, Dre, listen. If you do that, you know you better win.
Yeah.
Right? You know you better win. Because if you tell Knicks fans to sit through losing for 3 or 4 years,
with no light at the end of the tunnel, it's not gonna work. You need a well thought out plan with each step that you actually come through with.
you understand where I'm coming from, right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying 100%. Like, you can't just be aimlessly tanking every year like OKC did with no real goal out of it. I mean, they have a plan, clearly. You can see it formulating. Right. But it took them a long time to get. Well, did it really? Because when did they trade Paul George?
When they trade, it was the summer of 2019. Summer of 2019, yeah.
Okay, so it's been roughly like a 3 year.
Okay,
yeah. So it's been 3 years, and you can see like the embryonic stage of what's forming. And I feel like I've said this to Sally. I feel like they would have tried to like go in for getting more complimentary vets this year if Chet Holmgren didn't get hurt. Like they probably would have made it. Would have been, that year when OKC was like the 8th seed with the baby OKC team when they had drafted those 3 guys and they were giving like the Lakers problems.
Oh yeah, I remember round. They almost beat and right. And I remember
in that year, along the course of that year, they made complimentary moves because they saw that talent was blossoming. They made complimentary moves to get little vets here and there, and then they went and tried to attempt to win. Sam Presti did that. I was thinking this year they were going to try to do that this year, but then Chet Holmgren got hurt. Like if Chet Holmgren didn't get hurt, and they were to progress further, I feel like they would have made an attempt to like try to surround with complimentary veterans, like little small temporary deals around the deadline. But when Chet went down, they just started going straight into experimental mode with that coach because they had that new coach there, and he's like straight experimental mode with his rotations. He lets SGA do SGA things, but every other player on that team outside of Giddey is like their minutes are sporadic. Like he's trying to figure out what combinations work.
And the front office gives him carte blanche to do that too. He gives them carte blanche to do that too because they know in the grand scheme of things, this team is not built to be a winner.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It's too early.
At the same time with that, Freezy, though, if that was the Knicks situation, would Knicks fans be patient enough?
No.
Exactly.
But you know what though? But the thing about it is you have to look at it from a prospectus, right? Knicks fans are never going to be patient enough to do anything because the Knicks have not even tasted success in so long that there's nothing they have no Knicks fans have no sustenance, right? OKC, think about it. OKC for the most part they went to the finals once, right?
2012,
As the Thunder, they went to the finals once.
Yep.
But they went to the Western Conference Finals a couple times, right?
Yep.
And they drafted 3 MVPs and 8 solid NBA role players in a 4-year stretch.
Mm-hmm.
See, people forget about Reggie Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
They forget about
Nick Collinson, Steven Adams.
No.
Nick Collison was way before that, though. Seattle.
Yeah, Collinson was before that. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the one with you talking about with Harden, right?
No, I'm talking about OKC. I'm talking about OKC draft picks. I'm not talking about Kevin Durant, right? Okay, Kevin Durant was a Seattle
Serge Ibaka.
Serge Ibaka.
Serge Ibaka, actually.
And what's the other guard? They had another guard behind Reggie
Andre
Jackson.
Roberson?
No, another point guard.
He tore his ACL. I know who you're talking about. I'm gonna tell you right now. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. No. It's not Cephalosha. Give me a second. I'm gonna find it.
I know, but I'm saying that's another draft pick. OKC got to Cephalosha. He was.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Freezy. Give me a second.
Because
was it Eric Mayer?
Yeah, it was Eric Maynor. It was Eric Maynor.
Oh yeah, we hit that crazy 3 against the Spurs in the TNT game. Yeah.
Right. And so what happens is think about the Cephaloshas, the Robertsons, the Maynors, the Hardens, the Reggie Jacksons, the man. One year they drafted Kyle Singler.
Yeah.
And Kyle Singler was playing for them.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
and giving good
think about oh god, what's the other? They drafted another dude. I keep wanting to say Perry Ellis, but he went to Baylor.
Perry Jones.
They drafted so much high upside talent. They were like, listen, we're not.
They had Jeremy Lamb too. Sorry,
Jeremy Lamb, bro. I mean, bro, come on. The difference between the Knicks and the OKC Thunder is every pick that OKC drafts, they take high upside home run swings.
Right.
And the Knicks, they're like, no, I don't want a steak and shrimp dinner. Just give me a ham sandwich.
We go super safe, and then we wonder why we don't have anybody with like extremely high upside.
And you wonder why. Dre, stop reading my mind, bro. You gotta let me finish my point. What I'm saying is that's why when you look at OKC, you like, well, what is OKC gonna want with more draft picks? They get more home run swings. Mm-hmm. The real question is, why do the Knicks need all these draft picks? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. How many ham sandwiches do you need for a Yogi Bear picnic? Because
this front office thinks they can. Oh, go ahead, Z.
Sometimes our ham sandwiches end up being spam sandwiches because we don't even run those.
They get moldy too. The handles get moldy too.
What this used car salesman Leo Rose is trying to do is trying to sell us on the hope that we can compile all these late first round draft picks into throwing them at a star. But we can't even close the deal for that. So
and you know the funny thing about that is he's selling us that hope, right? Because he knows he can't draft. Mm-hmm. He's saying that because he knows his bag is not drafting.
Man, our draft pick's been terrible.
You know what, Freezy? I'm not even like because the scouts that we have, the guy that we have from the Utah Jazz. He's actually pretty good at finding value in later rounds. I want to give that brass an opportunity to draft a high-end talent at the top of the first round instead of bargain bin hop, like trying to dig in the crates for like decent guys. Because our whole perspective is trying to tread water with okay guys that can maybe get us to the playoffs and get us an early first round knockout or something. And we're not taking the risk because if we were to focus on trying to get guys at the top of the draft or even in the middle of the draft, middle of the lottery, we would take we never would take the inherent risk. Like Obi was a safe pick because he was like 3 years out of college and he was 22 by the time he got here. Like he was ultimately a very safe pick.
Right.
And we don't take the home run swing. Like I want to take a swing at someone like Shaden Sharp.
Shaden Sharp would be nice. Or
And I would have been okay with them looking bad in their formulaic development years like T-Mac did. I would have been okay with that. But we're not okay with picking a direction. We're not picking a direction. We're trying to win now, win now, win now. So we end up taking ham sandwiches like Quentin Grimes that are pretty much who they're gonna be for the most part.
Grimes is who he's gonna be, bro. Yeah. Let's not. If I hear one more person talk about Quentin Grimes is gonna be Klay Thompson, I'm gonna just start questioning people's basketball.
Yeah,
IQ.
that is ultra disrespectful and wrong to have an opinion like that. I mean, Grimes is a good lockdown defender, but Klay Thompson, when he's hot, he's hotter than a furnace, and he can lock you up too in his prime.
Right. And shout out to my man Ron. I'm not throwing shade at Ron. What I'm saying is man, we have to have some perspective here, bro. Mm-hmm. Ron's my guy. Ron is super smart, bro.
Man, I'm gonna keep it a buck, Freezy. If we had the talent of what's that Aussie that OKC had drafted that has like potential, super high potential.
Usman.
He's not Usman. No, it was an Aussie. What's his name? They had just drafted. Yeah, Josh Giddey. Do you think the fan base would be super impatient if we saw flashes of what Josh Giddey could be?
Man, no.
On a day-to-day basis, no, we wouldn't. But we don't take and people were like, and Josh Giddey was like a swing. Like people thought that was a reach at the time. But now knowing what we know about him, they made the right move picking him.
They made the right move because his talents fit what they look to do. You feel me?
Big playmaker, legitimately big playmaker.
Right.
Solid defender.
Yeah.
Rebounder.
Great.
Triple-double threat. Unselfish.
Can hit a mid-range shot too.
3-point shot is broken,
there was some passes. Yeah, there's some passes he did against us, which just made me scratch my head. Like, what? How? Like, he's doing it with his offhand.
Like, thunderstorm in New York. It was a thunderstorm in New York.
We'd rather pretend that we're the New England Patriots and we want to trade back to the 7th round in a 2-round draft,
right?
To get the steals,
right? and not hire an offensive and not hire an offensive and not hire an offensive coordinator. Just have a guy wing it out there.
Just like the Patriots,
We're going to hire Matt Patricia as our next offensive coordinator.
Hire a defensive coordinator to be the offensive coordinator. Yeah.
It's like you can do that plug and play stuff when you have a generational talent. Like Tom Brady.
Some of this stuff can't be real. Some of this stuff can't. Bro, some of this stuff, it can't be real. If you're a Knicks fan, think about this. You're a Knicks fan, right? Today, you're a Knicks fan today. You saw a lineup that featured Brunson, RJ, Grimes, Randall, Mitch. And when you look at the lineup, you're like, okay, where's our saucy scorer at? Oh, we ain't going to put a saucy scorer in the lineup, bro. We're going to put a bunch of dudes out here that can make shots on some days and not shots on other days.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Our best offensive player is a midget, man. This is a problem. This is not good. This is not good.
He made Stephon Marbury a god on defense.
It's not even it's not even all Brunson because it's our fault. We signed this guy and expected him to be our star. He's played good basketball. It's just
and we like him.
He's a piece. He's a piece, but he's not. He's a piece, but he's not that guy.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
He's better than anybody we've had in a long time at point guard.
The last time we had a legit point guard was Stephon Marbury.
Yeah. You mean to tell me You mean to tell me Chunky Felton wasn't good enough?
Felton was good. I mean, the 16 games.
The first version of Felton was good.
Yeah, in 2011.
The second version of Felton, we're like,
He was chubby. He was chubbier than Fat Albert at times.
You mean to tell me Amon Shumpert at point guard wasn't a good experiment for you?
Oh my God! Oh God! Oh God! D'Antoni really tried. He really tried to make
what
that.
About Jeremy Lin for that one spent Lin Sandy. What about Jeremy Lin? I thought he did good at point guard. I thought he was lit. I thought he lit.
He was good for a whole 16 games.
And he would not go left.
True.
And once people figured out he wouldn't go left, you're like, you just stacked right.
That massacre when he went against the Heat. Oh, I had secondhand embarrassment because of that. Like what's his name? The dude that was the Kansas guard. He just took his lunch. What's his name?
Oh, you talking about Quentin Grimes?
Mario Chalmers.
Yeah.
Mario Chalmers just embarrassed.
Oh, he undressed him that one night.
Yeah, but he could because Chris Bosh was behind him playing free safety.
Agreed.
Yeah, remember
and
that?
Braun was
Yeah,
and Braun
that
was around the era when Braun was playing defensive player of the year caliber type defense.
Yeah. That energy was there. You know what I'm saying? That energy was there for LeBron, bro.
You know shout out to Kaiser Soze.
Man, how uber close we were from getting LeBron in 2018. How uber close we were from getting LeBron.
Yeah, man, they said nothing all night. Came in just to check in to call Randall a bum.
Right. That's hilarious.
Chill out.
You know what's sad though?
Yeah.
Randall was before Brunson. Randall was the best point guard that we've had in a long time.
Oh my God!
Think about that.
So you're saying Alfred Payne wasn't a floor general? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Alfred Payne is the best point guard in the history of the NBA. I don't know where this Stockton crap's coming from.
Yeah,
I don't know who Stockton is. Never heard of her, but I know who Alfred Payton is.
John Stockton? Who? Never heard of him.
Me neither. Never heard. We're just pressing your buttons, Freezy. We're just pressing your buttons.
Yeah.
Clyde Frazier couldn't hold this jock, man.
No, not at all.
Best point guard in Knicks franchise history.
And Clyde told him that one night. Clyde was like, "Yo, I can't hold your jock, right?" That's what Clyde
Frazier he put Clyde Frazier in the booth, man.
Yes. Oh my God. but yeah, man, like the rebound. I don't know why Leon Rose and these guys don't feel like they can. Well, I do know why. I feel like these guys are playing it super safe.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I don't know if they were threatened or if this is a personality trait. Right?
I want to add. My fault, Rudy. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I was gonna pose a question. What star would want to play for Tom Thibodeau?
Exactly.
That is
what 2022 star wants to play for Tom Thibodeau?
That is a good question.
Exactly.
No, I'm keeping it a buck. Jimmy Butler was Tom Thibodeau's favorite, and Jimmy liked Tom, and even Jimmy wanted to leave Tom.
My only issue with Tibbs, and I do think Tibbs gets too much hate, but my only issue with Tibbs is that sometimes his rotations can be a little bit iffy here and there, and I feel they needs to be more rah. You know what I mean?
That wasn't fair though, because Jimmy Butler wanted to leave Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns. He didn't want to leave Tibbs. He hated how soft Cat and Wiggins were. It wasn't Tibbs.
If you think about it, do you think Tibbs is the reason why no stars want to come to New York?
Oh no, it happened before Tibbs, dude.
Oh yeah, the other coaches.
We were just a mess though. Like we were just a complete. Like we were so bad. We weren't even actively tanking, but we were so bad it looked like we were tanking.
Right. Yeah, but what I'm saying is like it's not the stars to come here. This has been a theme.
Mm-hmm. The only guys who won it was Melo and Amari. That's it.
Yeah, bro.
And Amari only came because we gave him that insured contract.
Yeah.
Money
or uninsured. Yeah.
Well, something is not right. That no stars want to come to New York.
It's the fan base, bro. That's the deal. We're not patient. We want to turn on players, coaches, and front offices so quick.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's
This,
not worth it with some regimes,
this,
but I'm just saying that
this,
kids get afraid.
oh,
People get
yeah,
afraid of
like I was gonna say, like it's unfortunate that RJ has the perfect mentality, but he doesn't have the talent to match it. Because RJ
Right.
has the ideal mentality for the star you want in New York, but he just doesn't have the skill to be the star in New York.
that. You
So,
mean to tell me
Right.
Yeah, I
they're
agree. I
the
agree.
greatest
I agree.
3-point shooter of all time?
oh
Facts.
god,
Man, RJ, every time you see RJ shoot a three ball, the rim just keeps crying. Ouch! Ouch!
Like help.
Ow!
These rims are crying for help, RJ Barrett. These
it,
rims.
it,
Same thing with Randall sometimes. Same thing with Randall sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Randall threw up 4 shots yesterday that were very questionable, highly questionable.
I think I heard the backboard quote from SpongeBob. My
but
leg.
Freezy, we
My
always get
back,
that. We
leg.
always get that from Randall when he sees 1-3 go in at the beginning of a game, and then he might get like a step back to go in, and it's like okay,
He makes James Harden
Right.
look at
Okay,
Doncic cry with that, man.
at the
and
same
then
time, RJ Barrett can see an air ball and then say, "Ooh, I'm hot tonight. Let me shoot 16
I'm
more.
stroking it. Yep.
Let me see
Facts.
16 more air balls."
Every time I see JR30 do the step back Bobby check on a three, it's a step back Bobby clunk. Every time I see Randall shoot a step back three, he makes Luca
it's
and Harden cry.
I think that's just a product of the team having like a hierarchy problem where it's like we have no one that's clearly far and away much better than Julius Randle. So Julius Randle's just gonna do what
The
he
last,
does.
the
I mean,
last,
he is the
But
best player.
is that Julius Randle's fault?
It's
Oh no,
not
no,
Julius
that is the
Randle's
front office's fault.
Right.
That is the
Right.
front
That's what I'm
office's fault. 100%.
right.
That's the front
What I'm
office's
saying,
fault.
what I'm telling these guys is go out there and be confident. That's what I'm
Mhm.
telling them. Go out there and don't go play scared. Like today in stretches, I saw RJ Barrett play scared.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? And you don't ever want your young guys to feel like, if you don't do it this way, man, I'm gonna snatch you out the game. You don't
Mhm.
ever want to have your especially your young guys when confidence is shaky. You don't ever want your young guys to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Facts. RJ was scared. RJ was super petrified. Made Kurt Chicago dog seem brave.
Hey, Prezi, do you think RJ kind of looks like Afro Payton lately?
Um.
Lately,
You're saying he's a
Yeah.
left-handed Alfred Payton?
with
Yes.
yeah,
I'm
with his
with him.
struggling.
Yes.
He's this year's Alfred Payton. He's this year's Alec Burks.
I think he's a 6'6"
Boy.
Ricky Rubio without the defense.
Facts.
I
And
think.
Ruby had a better J too. And Ruby was a better jump shooter.
Yeah.
Don't be
And that's
surprised if Rubio goes off today. Don't be surprised. Just a
hurt
gut
though.
feeling.
So he's a
Rubio.
Rubio is
Rubio
injured. Rubio is injured. He hasn't been
Yeah.
playing.
Rubio hurt.
he's a
Oh,
he's a
Michael.
6'6" Johnny Flynn.
Good God.
He's a 6'6".
Talk about a team that screwed that up. They drafted 2 point guards ahead of Stephen Curry.
Yep.
Nice.
What was dude's name? TJ Ford. He's a 6'6" TJ Ford.
Hey,
Mhm.
it's just Coach Zach funny, bro. Let me, Dre. The thing, don't think about that, right? Think about this. I wanna pose. Give me a split second, right? What year did Steph Curry get drafted? 2008.
Yes.
2009.
2008 season. 2008.
It was 2008 or 2009. One of those years.
2008. Yeah, because he played in the 08-09 season. 2008.
Okay.
All right. So if you're Minnesota, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think about this. If you're Minnesota, did Derrick Rose draft? Okay.
Derrick Rose was
No, it wasn't
No, it was a
2008.
2009. It was a 2009 draft.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was the Blake Griffin draft. That's what. Okay.
Flying
if
Lion, Blake Griffin.
right, so if you're Minnesota and you're picking 5 and 6, listen to the names that you passed up at 5 and 6. Right.
Okay.
I'm gonna skip Rubio and Flynn and start naming names. Tell me if I'm crazy for thinking Minnesota doesn't deserve a franchise. So Minnesota selected Johnny Flynn and Ricky Rubio, right?
Mm-hmm.
They passed on Steph Curry.
Wow.
They passed on DeMar DeRozan. They
Yikes.
passed on Brandon Jennings when they needed a point guard, right?
Did you, Sharif?
They passed on Drew Holiday.
Ay,
They
ay, ay.
passed on Ty Lawson. They passed on Jeff Teague.
Yikes.
They passed on Eric Mena. They passed on Darren Collinson. They passed on Taj Gibson. They passed on Tony Douglas. They passed on Wayne Ellington. They passed on where it was another name. I saw this the other day. Let me find it.
They passed on the all-time great Jordan Hill.
Facts.
Yeah, they passed on Jordan Hill. They passed on Patrick Beverly. They passed on where is it? Where is it? They passed on. I'm gonna
Wolves
find
do
it.
not howl at night sometimes. Oh,
They passed on Patty Mills. Right.
My
they passed
God.
on they passed on all those people for Johnny Flynn. Now, to Johnny Flynn's credit, I always thought he was going to be the next Kemba Walker type player, right? But the hip injury really derailed his career.
Big time.
But the Ricky Rubio one, there
Why
is
do you draft
no
2 point guards?
way because they're Minnesota, bro.
It's
Yeah,
the
but
St. Wolves, man.
Oh,
Minnesota is the same franchise that drafted Brandon Roy and traded him the same night to Portland.
Yeah.
and then signed him when his knees were already gone.
The Grim Reaper, right, Z. The Grim Reaper took his knees away. Yeah.
And then
I mean, we
Tim
don't even
Wolf
have
said,
to look. We don't have to look no further, bro. They gave up essentially 5 first-round picks for Rudy Gobert, and not even counting swaps. Not even counting swaps.
And now Big Cat, their Wolf pack later is gonna be out 4 to 6 weeks due to a calf injury.
Yep.
And Minnesota just lost to OKC. Like, what the heck?
Yep. Bro, these things had
Rudy Gobert got kicked out that game because he tried to trip someone while he was laying on the ground.
Yeah.
It's frustration, bro. It's that bro, when you look, bro, Dre, you know this. Bro, when you get frustrated, bro, you'll do just about anything, bro. When you reach your thing where you just reached it, bro, you'll do anything, man.
The best thing that happened to the Wolves was the playing championship. Congrats! The Minnesota Timberwolves just won the 2022 NBA championship in the play-in.
Them. Now what?
I'm just. Why would you give up that much for a center that has to wear a knee brace? Like Rudy Gobert is running out there with a knee brace, bro.
Yep. Because the front office guy used to work in Utah. The front office guy helped draft Rudy Gobert.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It ruined the whole trade market. Ruined the entire trade market. He's probably the reason why Donovan Mitchell isn't a Knick.
Yeah.
Possibly. So.
Yeah.
and you wonder how long Leon Rose is going to sit back and watch this Knicks team continue to lose before he makes a move. You wonder how long he's going to.
He can sit there as long as he wants. James Dolan's going to be breathing down his neck in a second.
He don't care.
James Dolan hasn't done anything.
He's getting paid to take naps and pretend he's building a team.
Facts. Dolan's just there watching the prices right rather than being the competent owner.
I need less guys that are on the Knicks because it's their dream job. I need more guys that are here because we paid an exorbitant amount of money for them because they're very good at their job. Like the Leon Rose thing is because he grew up a Knicks fan and he loves the Knicks. Tom Thibodeau is here because he loves the Knicks and he's from the area. We need less charity cases. We need more merit. We need people in the front office off of merit, bro. No more nepotism. We need merit. Like I will gladly overpay for the right guy for the position.
If I was James Dolan, I would have fired Leon Rose weeks ago.
If I'm Dolan, bro, all I want you to do is tell me what the plan is.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what the plan is?
Mm-hmm.
Also, can you tell the fans the plan so they calm down?
Yeah.
Yes.
These are the type things when you're in a relationship, bro. You can't have a relationship with no communication. And don't tell me as a fan, Dre. Guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what I'm doing. Guess what I'm doing. 2 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast.
Talking Knicks.
I'm talking Knicks. Right now, how you going to tell Uncle Freezy that he don't deserve to know what the Knicks are doing? Right? How you gonna tell me that, bro? Don't tell me how much time you invested in the Knicks when me and Dre and Coach Z and everybody, Adam, put all this time into the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, yeah, don't shoot me the gas, bro, don't shoot me the gas about, we have a top secret plan and one day we're gonna show you what. Nah, bro. We not little kids, bro. This ain't Cartoon Network Power Hour, bro. We too smart. We too smart for that. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Ooh, and this relates to this. If you had a time machine, would you have prevented James Dolan from being an owner? Would you have prevented that?
No. I think James Dolan. Now you have to. Hey, and so you have to. Okay, so look at it like this. If you solely go by wins and losses, yes, the Knicks are a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go by the amount of money the Knicks have made for the NBA, where would the NBA be without the Knicks?
That was a good point. No wonder why this team gets Christmas games constantly, other than the 2-year span. Yeah,
bro, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, it's that you would not have a Memphis or a New Orleans, right? Or OKC if it wasn't for the Knicks. You feel me? Because because think about it. What free agent is licking their chops to go to New Orleans, Louisiana?
Not much. No.
I've been to New Orleans. Listen, I love Louisiana, bro. I lived in Louisiana for a year and a half. Right? Mm-hmm. I love New Orleans. I didn't live in New Orleans. I lived in another place. But bro, when you go to New Orleans a certain time of year, it stank.
Mm-hmm.
People like, yo, I went to New Jersey. The air smelled funny. That's a joke New Yorkers tell. Like New Yorkers, like cab fumes going up their nose, talking about the green air, the air in New Jersey with all these trees. The air stank. It stank because it's clean. You know what I'm saying? You smelling cab fumes all up your nose, right? But bro, New Orleans, bro, a certain time of year when you go,
rotten crawfish.
Bro, I'm telling you. Bro, and you telling me I gotta live here? Man, you crazy.
The dude had delicious smoothies at New Orleans. Just go to Smoothie King's and you get yummy, delicious smoothies.
Smoothie King.
Shout out to the daiquiris that you can get in the drive-thru. New Orleans.
But to me, the worst arena name in sports history is Crypto.com Arena.
Yeah.
Name. Crypto.com Arena.
Well, I mean, it could be worse. It could be worse. You could be. Hold on. It could be worse. You could be FTX Arena.
It's a decent name.
What's that, a movie place?
FTX Arena?
Yeah, but I heard they needed to change their name.
The Miami Heat sold the naming rights to their arena.
They changed their name. Crypto.com Arena. Even look at the logo of Crypto.com Arena. It looks like a drunk bug exterminator. Even look at the logo, man.
Money talks, man.
They should have just kept that Staples Center, man.
I love New Orleans. I love my people, bro. But sometimes New Orleans be stank. You know what I'm saying? Yo, and I know that's like a secret. Like people don't say nothing about it because of all the stuff that happened down there and all that stuff. But there's certain times of the year New Orleans was stank before all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know if it has something to do with like the water or whatever.
The thing I didn't like about New Orleans, if you're anywhere near the water, they got these giant ass flying roaches, man. No, bro, can't do it. Whatever those big flying roaches that just fly at you aimlessly.
They love bugs, bro. That's they call them love bugs.
No, they fly at you aggressively, like you stole something from them. Yeah, they fly in your face.
Zion
No,
Zion absolutely loves the Cajun Eats and the Hurricanes. I mean, look at him.
Facts.
There are some people that like New Orleans.
Sure. While we're living in Memphis, how you get yummy scrumptious barbecue?
Yeah. Yo, my son lives in Nashville, right?
Yep.
And it's like, yo, Memphis ain't even that. Memphis is like a business hub that's not really even that big. You know what I'm saying?
everything. The business hub is based around FedEx. Like,
Basically. And
the-
airports. They have like all these airports that connect to each other.
yeah, it's a
Like a
connector
little hub.
city. It's a
Yeah,
connector city.
yeah.
The whole city is a
So,
flight.
so getting back to this Knicks debacle,
I'll
this
be
is
right back.
this is the
All
third
right.
season that Tibbs is the head coach, right?
Yep.
And and I'm telling you, we are not seeing nothing good.
What do you mean, dude? We literally were a 4th seed team with little to no talent.
The Knicks are
We
not in fourth.
Yes, they
no,
were.
they
Seriously,
were.
yes, they
You
were.
said in Tibbs' 3rd year we haven't seen any. In Tibbs' 3 years we haven't seen anything good. We literally were
Exactly.
in the 4th seed year.
Last
We've
year,
had
Two
we went
years
from
ago. That was
17.
2 years
Hold on,
ago.
G Money. Hold on, G
Sorry.
Money. We went from like 17 wins, 20 wins, to 37 wins being a disappointment. Before
Okay.
Tibbs came here, 37 wins would not have been a disappointment.
Right.
So he did
Right.
raise the expectation a little bit.
Did raise expectation, right? Right. Did raise the floor of the franchise.
Which is we got to be a little grateful for, I guess.
Right. Because something's better than nothing.
Right.
You know, I hate to put it that way. It sounds corny and cheesy, right? But something's better than nothing, bro. You know what I'm saying? We gotta,
Freezy, how
You know.
many years in the last 10 years would we be happy with like a 10 and 12 start?
Hey, sometimes we be excited,
Right.
right? Some years, other years, depending on the expectations, depending on who you signed in free agency, you know what I mean? But
Like the Fizdale years or the
Oh, the Phillies still used the Knicks were down like 1,000-0 at halftime constantly.
yeah, and that dude was an idiot.
He was a moron.
That dude was an idiot. But what I would say, I was ask you this: what are you going to do, Coach Zach? What are you going to do? Are you going to be patient with this team and let it rock, knowing what you've been through, say over the past 4 years? Are you just going to be patient with it and let it rock a little bit more with this front office and this coaching staff, or are you going to pull the trigger on some type of move?
I mean, I'd be looking for a move. I'm just saying, like, what I'm saying. I just want to break the cycle of hiring a coach that we think is going to be the answer, and then the front office completely undermining them and not giving them the players that fit their system or what they want to do. I want continuity and I want tranquility among the whole organization. I want them all to be on the same page. I want them all to have a common goal. Like, for example, Tibbs comes here, wants defensive minded players. We already have Randall and we draft Obi. What sense did that make?
It's idiotic.
What sense did bringing Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier in make?
Right.
Like, we need to have a front office and a coach. Like, for example, the Spurs and Greg Popovich. Like that whole front, and then he ended up being the general manager or whatever. But they had a common goal, or like the Warriors, they had a common vision and goal, and they executed it. I don't want one to be undermining the other over and over and over again.
And it doesn't make any sense that you traded Kemba Walker and you keep Fournier. It doesn't make any sense.
It's just dumb.
You should have sent Fournier with Kemba.
Even saying doesn't make any sense kind of is an understatement. It's kind of ridiculous, yeah. Yeah, that moves was kind of ridiculous.
Okay. All right.
Like I'm not saying this is the answer, but we need to be consistent.
If you're a Knicks fan today, who cares about that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you're a Knicks fan today, who cares about that stuff? Aren't you ready for foundational change? Right. Not just random willy-nilly Subway. Here comes a guy. He's smarter than the last guy type change coming in with a plan, right? Is that not what you want?
Yeah, but I don't want the constant turnover. Like,
agreed. We want stability.
I want the next, we need change, but we need the right change. We don't need to just keep doing this every couple of years, is what I'm getting at.
Changing for the sake of, yeah.
I don't know who that is. I don't know, who that is or even what that is at this point. But I also, like you've been saying, I want a transparent front office. Like you said, this is the goal. This is what we're trying to build towards. And then if you do all those things, we're going to be more patient.
I think the thing starts with we don't do baby steps.
Right.
I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. I'm telling you what I think. For one, G Money, this is what we don't do, right? This is what we don't do. We don't tell the fans exactly what we want, right? Like, I'm going to tell you exactly what we want. I'm straight up going to the fans and I'm like, yo, I'm going to get players that are going to be up-tempo athletes that could do multiple things, right? That can do multiple things, right? And I'm going to try to get them in the draft with a whole bunch of draft picks that we're going to accumulate by gutting this roster.
Right.
Is that not a plan? Will Knicks fans stand for that? No, they won't. Right.
Right. That's not really much of a plan.
Yeah. Well, but the thing about it is, it's a plan, right? It's a plan, but it's something that Knicks fans have never heard before. So as soon as they hear something like that, they're like, what kind of plan is that? You know what I'm saying? I outlined everything. Coach Zach, did I not say everything that I wanted to do? But G Money, what you've been hearing for all these years is we want to build a championship contender.
Yep.
How?
Yep.
How are you going to build your championship contender? What type of championship contender? Where are you going to start? What type players are you looking for? Do you have the infrastructure for that already?
They don't. The front office doesn't have the infrastructure. It's just a bunch of hoopla. There's no correlate. There's no agreement between Tibbs and the front office right now. Well, I can't say no agreement, but you get my point, though. You get my point.
I know. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. It's just been this team's been a clown show for years now because of bad front offices. Yeah.
And we've just ran through good coaches like Woodson, Larry Brown, Tibbs. Like, we've ran through some good coaches and ran them into the ground. They say Tibbs runs players into the ground. We run coaches into the ground, dude.
Into the ground, bro.
Like, that's not like if you want to get, because the NBA is positionless basketball now. It's athleticism and tempo. It's 3-and-D.
True.
Like that, if you want to build through the draft and get a bunch of guys like that, that's not a terrible plan. Getting a bunch of good, young, quick 3-and-D players and trying to draft a superstar somewhere in there.
Right.
I mean, but Knicks fans aren't patient enough to deal with that.
No, I ain't patient enough to deal with that.
But the players from the draft is not going to make this team a championship team.
Not right away.
What? The Golden State Warriors built through the draft.
Yeah, and they made a lot of them, but it's not gonna happen right away. But if you're telling me to be patient, don't tell me to be patient with vanilla ice cream, bro. And don't tell me to be patient with ham sandwiches, bro.
Jay Boogie wants the link for you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, my bad. I'm working on a thumbnail. My bad.
You're good, bro.
You're good, man. You're fine. You're good, man.
I feel like the front office needs to do something before it turns ugly.
But it's already turned ugly. I'm sorry, what's your name again? I don't see the handles.
Adam.
Sorry, Adam.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. But the thing is, it's been ugly other than 2 seasons for the last 20-something years, bro.
Since 2002 on, yep.
Even when we were like, for example, other than the 2013 year, when we were like 8th seed, it was still ugly because we had Melo and Amari and could barely make the playoffs.
Right.
Like, in my opinion, that's still ugly. So, like, we've had star talent. We've had superstars. Amari was a superstar. Melo was a superstar. We had superstars. Jay Boogie. We had superstars.
Jay Boogie.
We had all
Salute
these
Jay
dudes.
Boogie.
We had superstars. We've had great coaches. We've had different things, and it still don't work.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree, Jack.
There's just reasons. Weird front offices, up and down coaching, players not buying into the system. This team just doesn't have the camaraderie like the 90s New York teams. You know, the teams in the 90s, though, I know we didn't win, but that team had camaraderie. That team had
What's the difference in the 90s?
Not even
We
close.
did not have as much roster turnover. We only had one superstar. It's not like we had a bunch of stars.
Right.
We had one superstar.
Yeah.
We had, but what I'm saying, we didn't have as much roster turnover. We didn't have as much coaching turnover.
Yeah.
We didn't get rid of people every 2 years.
Right.
And we were at least relevant.
True. That's true. We were relevant.
Goes to what we talked about on the phone earlier, G.
That's true. If it wasn't for Reggie Miller, Tim Duncan, Hakeem, MJ, Pippen, etc., New York could have won a few championships.
Right. Right. Corey Lee is in the building. What's good, Mr. Lee?
Corey in the house.
Peace. What's good, everybody?
And chilling, working and doing this at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Trying to work on some stuff behind the scenes. Man, this kind of, Lawrence here is a kind of, I had to put the thumbnail out there for the game tomorrow. I got to put the thumbnail out there for New School Knicks. I'm working on the old school Knicks thing right now, bro.
Freezy, why are you so lazy?
I know. I'm just lazy like man.
Hey, man, you got 15 jobs.
Yeah, man. So
yeah, before you speak crazy from him, so the question is, who is going to make the moves? Is it going to be James Dolan? Is it going to be Leon Rose? Who's going to make the moves? That's the question.
And so to your point, Aaron N just mentioned the Knicks front office is inexperienced, and that's the issue.
That's a good point too.
And Nick Yak says we had a John Starks ball in the air. If it went in to win the championships, is that close enough? Hey, Nick Yak, I'm 100% with you on that one.
Mm-hmm.
If Elijah One had clipped his fingernails that day, we'd have been NBA champs.
It's O.J. Simpson's fault.
Or John Starks had pump faked and Jakob. If Johnson did the uppy chuck and pump faked and got a good look too.
What I'm getting at, Adam, is the last time we were relevant and could barely almost taste the champagne, we didn't have turnover every 2 years in the roster, front office, coaching, and we had people. Pat Riley had some shortcomings as a coach back at that time.
It's true.
Van Gundy but Van Gundy and Pat Riley were our two coaches in the 90s. What I'm saying is we didn't fire a coach every 2 years or fire the front office or trade our best players away.
But they fired a lot of coaches.
Hey, I'm gonna rock with y'all for a moment real quick and let y'all see what's happening.
What up, Boogie?
Okay, let me. I'm gonna just move everybody so I can get a big screen of it.
That's just real quick. Let y'all see who in the building.
Building. What's good? What's good, boss?
Lawrence here.
Yeah.
Yo, Freezy, what up, boss?
What's up, boss?
How you, bro?
Boss? Hey, man, we good, man. We still rocking, bro. We still rocking. Look like y'all having a good time.
What's going on, Freezy? What up, boss?
Yo, what's good? What's good, boss?
Yeah.
Okay. I see y'all. Hey, shout out to the nigga Don Show.
Yeah, man. Come out here to support, you know?
Yeah,
What's up, baby? How you, man? Big love. I know you is. Big love, man.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure, you know what I'm saying, you got that exclusive, you know what I'm saying? Much love, my brother. We still out here. We ain't shot for like 3 scenes, but we got about 2 hours. Cully just got here, you know what I'm saying? He been flying planes all day in the jet and all
Cully
that.
was late?
So, you know, it's about to go down.
I mean, Cully was late? Nah, Cully is never late, bro.
Yeah. All right, my brother. I'm gonna let y'all rock on, man.
All right, boss. All right, be safe out there, bro.
No doubt, my brother.
All right. Yeah, man, that was my main man, J Boogie. They out there.
That's
the video. That's what's up, man. They out there doing anything, man. You know, shout out to them brothers, man. Yeah, man. I'm excited about this Christmas video, man. I wish I could have been there, man. But you know, things are what they are, man. Things are what they are. You know what I'm saying? G Money, you was getting to a point, bro. What G Money? Oh, there he is. G Money, you was getting to a point. And I cut you because J Boogie wanted to jump in, man. You can go ahead and cook, bro.
I was gonna rebuttal Z, like,
okay.
The reason why they didn't, well, they did fire a ton of coaches while Patrick Ewing was there, a ton of them. They had what? Who do they have? Hubie Brown. I'm gonna go down the list. Bob Hill, Rick Pitino, Stu Jackson, Jack McCoy, Pat Riley, Don Nelson.
Yeah, McLeod.
McLeod, my fault.
Yeah,
McLeod.
Yeah.
Jeff Van Gundy, like, there was a lot of coaches underneath Patrick Ewing. But the reason they didn't throw everyone out is because they had the Hall of Fame talent. We don't have the Hall of Fame talent.
So why? But is you still need stability.
Now I understand the stability point. I'm with you on the stability point.
We do need more talent, but you need stability too. Our best years under Pat Riley or Patrick Ewing were when we had Pat Riley.
Right. Yeah, that was a 4-year stretch where it was you didn't question leadership at all.
That was a chicken. That's a chicken or the egg question. Because what gives you stability first, the talent or the stability? Because you can luck into just getting the talent, and then the talent just makes everything stable on its own. So you can't just attribute that to just being stable to making. We've been very stable at being bad. That's the only thing that I can draw. So.
No, stability. I'm just saying that's one of the factors.
Oh yeah, okay. I understand that. I can understand that.
But
it's true.
I don't know. There's too much crap. Like there's too much. We can't pinpoint it to just one problem the Knicks need to fix, and we can all agree on that.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, man. We I think we can all agree on that, bro. That man, we have too many moving parts all the time to be considered a functional organization, man.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Yeah.
You know, like Coach Z. Listen, man. If there was a situation, okay. So say I clean house, right? But I go bring in a coach about Coach Zach's age. Hey, Coach, listen. We have a plan. We know there are going to be ups and downs. We give you a 5-year deal. Like halfway through, we're not talking about changing coaches, but you have to promise us that you're going to be still as committed at the beginning of the process as you know what I'm saying, when you get in the middle of the process, right? And we are going to make that commitment to you too, unless you do something egregious like, you know what I'm saying, what Udoka did, right? Kind of like the deal that the Oklahoma City Thunder coach has. Like experiment, go through all these different things. You understand where we're going and where we want to be at the end of this is not a championship contender, but a second round team with 3 or 4 all-star players. Now understand there's going to be some nights. There are going to be some nights where I'm just going to walk up to you and I'm going to be like, I just traded your small forward. And you can't look at me like, yo, I just want to win. When I talked to you in the beginning, when we was negotiating the contract, bro, you know, hey, bro, the plan has to be stable. The roster doesn't. is what I'm telling you up front. Because what we want to do is build. We want to have a bunch of Paul Georges and Kawhi Leonards and Kevin Durant at the end of this process. And you don't get that. You don't always get lucky enough to select them in the draft. Sometimes you got to trade a good guy in a pick to get a great draft position.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? So as long as if Dre tells me that's what he want to do, I'm like, okay, Dre, I'm with it. But listen, you're gonna go get me a coach, and he's gonna stay here for 5 years. We're not gonna do this whole merry-go-round of coaches and executives every 2 years. Somebody leaving. We got a 5-year plan, and we're gonna stick to it, right? Because listen, if you start that mess, then I'm firing people. I'm firing personnel if they rock the boat. But the plan is always going to stay in place. That is going to be our stabilizing force, our vision.
Yeah. And I want to say, we might have the same front office, and there may not even be stability within the front office because there's way too many ideas. There's way too many, everyone's not on the same accord. We got Worldwide West battling heads with everyone else in the front office.
What's he even employed for?
I don't know.
We don't know, man. I don't. That's exactly why.
Talk about all the albatross contracts and the waste of money. What are we paying him for?
Is Steve Stout still here too?
No, we fired him.
What's the capologist? The capologist. What's he here for? We have 3 average
Brock
players
Aller.
with $100 million contracts.
Brock Aller. That's the reason. That's the reason why. The reason why I'm saying that is because we have 3 different guys, or we have multiple guys with their own idea and their own takes on where the direction of the franchise should go, right? And because of that, we try to compromise and try to do everything to make each person that have different takes on the situation happy. So we end up giving out deals that are allegedly team friendly or are lower on the cap. Allegedly team friendly deals like Randall's. Like we thought Randall's deal was team friendly, and then we think these deals are team friendly. RJ's, for instance, and it's almost like it's a move to appease multiple factions within the front office, and that's not stable. Like the front office has to be walking together towards a particular goal, and it feels like we bat heads with each other internally. Like we do things like we get certain guys to appease Tibbs. Like we bring back Taj Gibson and Derrick Rose to make him happy, and then we do other deals where we get a bunch of Kentucky guys to make William Wesley happy. And then we turn around and we get a bunch of CAA guys to make Leon Rose happy. It's like we're a jumbled mess, and there's no real direction that we're heading to that has an ultimate goal that's a championship. It's just like making everyone happy.
It should be. It doesn't matter if it's Timbuktu, wherever we get the players from. If they're the best player that fits our team, it shouldn't matter what system they come from, what college.
Exactly, but we have nepotism corrupting our entire infrastructure of this team.
So y'all are very good at dodging questions, bro.
Oh, my bad. I was just being hateful at the time.
So here's the thing that I want to ask, and no disrespect to what y'all are saying, but nobody answered the question: what type of team are we, and what type of team is this front office looking to build?
We don't know.
Well,
we're a mediocre team with no vision.
I feel like this team is constructed to just compete and nothing more, because the Knicks as a brand is a business, and just making one playoff, even if we get destroyed, generates so much money. It's okay that we're just mediocre and we can just fiddle our way into the playoffs haphazardly.
As long as they're making money, they're okay with mediocrity.
Financially being mediocre is very lucrative. Even if we're not a championship contender, we're like amongst the top as far as value. And the Warriors got to win a bunch of championships to match us in value.
Even when we're the worst team in the league, we're the most valuable, bro. That's that.
Facts.
So until we're not the most valuable team anymore, Dolan ain't gonna give a damn about what products on the court.
He doesn't care.
I beg to differ.
If that's the case, if that's the case, why are you so staunch on stability?
No, but I'm saying I want change just like everybody else, but I want it to be consistent. Like I want it to be good change that lasts a decade.
Okay.
Whatever changes we make, I want them to be the right changes for once. Is what I'm getting at.
Okay.
Like if we bring in a younger coach to relate to these players, like a couple people in the chat said, I can get with that. But what I'm saying is I want it to be the right decision for once in our Knick lives in the recent memory and actually last and have sustained excellence.
Right. Even look at the Sacramento Kings. I'm sorry, 1 point. Even look at the Sacramento Kings. They were the Sacramento Queens in a bad way. And look at them this year. They're making the proper changes this year. And look at Sacramento. They're a playoff caliber team this year.
Right, but what I'm like, they're trying to put butts in the seats. They're trying to make money too by trying to be better. A lot of franchises. We are the richest franchise in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
There is no motivation for Dolan to say, I want to win championships right now, and I want to fix this right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's making enough money. That's all it is about at the end of the day for Dolan and other cares about money, his bottom line.
Yep.
That's what it comes down to.
Can I step in real quick? Z, I totally disagree with you. I totally disagree with you with that. As far as this Dolan, because we can't really speak for Dolan because Dolan hasn't spoken for himself in that aspect.
Okay.
That's number one. That's number one. What the issue is right now is we have a GM, or I say a president, who's who's an agent masquerading as a basketball aficionado. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who thinks he knows everything about this game. We have too many talking heads. So therefore we can't pick a direction when everybody's saying go left, go right, go up, go down, go here, go there. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
So
but at the same time,
hold on a second, I'm not done, bro. You know
okay, go ahead.
So with that said, though, you know what I'm saying? You can't pick a direction if they don't know which direction to go in.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Themselves.
You
know what I'm saying? So in other words, we got too many people up there talking, and we need to trim the fat from the top on down to the bottom.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? So in other words, we need to lose some of these what do you call these people? Golly, sticking everybody's a consultant or somebody, you know what I'm saying? Too many people got too many people are just
too many
talking
cooks,
and
too
don't
many
know what the
cooks
hell
in the
they're doing.
kitchen, man.
Yeah.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Basically, that's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Corey. It's just my thing is though, like we've been so bad for so long. You think if Dolan cared about winning, like I don't know, it just I'm sure he probably wants to put a better product out on the court, but the bottom line is a business. As long as he's profitable and is it's the richest team in the league, he's not going to be that upset with losing. If he's that upset with losing, he'd be in the media or something saying this got to change.
No, but see, the last time he did that though, it got so toxic, and he embarrassed himself, and he walked away looking like a fool, and the media chewed him up for that.
Right.
And that's why he's doing what he's doing. He's playing. He's leading from the rear in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? From behind the scenes. But what he needs to do is he needs to get in somebody's ear up there, especially Leon, because he's ahead of the snake as far as that part of it all. And he needs to be in his ear and be like, you need to tighten this up, or we're gonna have to do something. I'm gonna have to make some wholesale changes around here.
I hope you're right, Corey. I really do. I hope that Dolan wants to win. I don't know. I guess it just hasn't.
I know he's been one. If you look, I mean, for an example, I mean, if he didn't want to win, also for an example, he owns two teams, two major franchises. He owns the Rangers as well as the Giants.
Right.
You know what I mean, in the Knicks.
Right.
So with that said, the Rangers didn't have a piss poor season last year.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because he has the right people in place over that part of that organization, of that part of MSG.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What he thought he was doing, you know what I'm saying? Because Leon Rose supposedly had all these connections and he was tight with all these
Right.
people and he was a fairly decent agent.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? He just assumed that he could do the same thing with that.
Just like he did with Phil Jackson, because Phil won 11 titles. Yeah,
I mean, no, Phil Jackson was burnt out. He told the man on 4 or 5 different occasions he didn't want to do it. But when you keep throwing money in my face, I'd be a fool not to walk away with it either.
Right. No, I just meant like he thought that Phil could do the job. I get what you're saying. I don't know. I guess I'm just burnt out.
like James Dolan. Like James Dolan has pride. He wants to win, and he's willing to throw as much money as it takes. But he's also easily manipulated, and he's also like he's very loyal.
True.
He's very loyal.
I can get that. I guess I just am negative. I apologize.
Like that agent that agent smooth talked him into that position. And to be absolutely honest, Leon Rose is probably one of the greatest sports agents ever. So if we're keeping it a stack, because he's like the head of CAA, or was the head of CAA, which is like the biggest agency, and he didn't get there by accident. So
he's like the Drew Rosenhaus of the NBA. I get it.
So
sorry, go ahead.
So like I can understand where Dolan is like, I'm gonna throw a lot of money at this guy because he was the agent to like the LeBrons of the world. Was the agent. LeBron let him go, but you get what I'm saying. Like these guys, he tries to hire guys in high places because he sees them from the outside and assumes they always know what they're doing because they always land on their feet. And it hasn't really worked out for him with these decisions. Like, who knows if Dolan fires these guys, he might throw out a ton of money and find the right guy.
I hope so, man. I hope so.
It just takes multiple cracks at it because he figured it out. He found the right guy for the Rangers. So
right,
and they started drafting well and making the right moves in free agency and trade. So
we know the problem, right? And here's a question for all of you. In your guys' opinion, right? Throw some names out there. Who do you think we should go after? Is it Masai Ujiri? Is it another guy? Who do you guys think?
You know what? I'm about to say something crazy, and bear with me with this. I think he needs to go hire a professional consultant firm and go find him somebody who's off the cuff that you wouldn't even think about. To be honest with you,
like who?
I don't know. I'm saying a consulting firm. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Bear with me, because I'm at my wit's end as far as they're hearing the same names being rotated around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm crazy for next president.
Exactly. Shit, hell. Why? Excuse my language, but why not? Why not?
Zach can start coaching. I'll be a scout. Zach will be an assistant coach. I'll be a scout.
Nah, you got to be executive, bro. You got to be in the office with us. Can't have you on the road.
Freezy, as long as you're getting me a check to collect, I'm good.
Yes.
But if you know, but
Same
also
here too. I'm a scout. Same here.
But you know what's funny? Because y'all mentioned this earlier. Y'all just briefly mentioned this. It's funny how what was the coach name? We just lost to Indiana, and then we lost William Wesley. Yeah, Woodson, and it was West. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny how the ship started sinking like soon after that. I mean, really, like we really started going downhill. You know what I'm saying? We had an upswing. My man got a job. He got the heck on. You know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, the other guy who could constantly, somewhat keep Randall in line, all of a sudden, boom, now he's gone. You know what I mean? And it's just like now we got, honestly, we got a bunch of bobbleheads behind him now.
Yep.
It's a lot of grifters. There's a lot of grifters behind Leon Rose, man. There's a lot of guys that God rest. But Donnie Walsh was probably the best president I've had in my life. Well, my lifetime, I guess, at least six president.
You mean Isaiah Thomas doesn't make the cut?
Oh God.
Oh Zeke.
Scott Layden somewhere out here chilling. Oh God, terrible contracts.
Yeah, man.
Trading
I think
for Antonio McDyess, really?
it's
Getting,
that
getting Rice.
thing. He said Jeff Van Gundy for president. I don't need another old mind back there, man. Jeff Van Gundy gonna have us out here trying to play 1990s ball, man. I'm
And he
good.
a quitter. Man,
Yeah.
we don't man, man, Jeff Van Gundy can man. Listen, Jeff
They got
Van Gundy
busy,
quit
man.
on us, bro. Man, who cares about Jeff Van Gundy, bro? All he do is sit behind the mic and yap about what the Knicks don't do right. But when he was here, he quit on us.
Tell us how you really feel.
Right.
Freezy.
And matter of fact, if Allen Houston wouldn't have hit a prayer.
Jeff Van will be in the streets.
Yes. You know, so Jeff Van Gundy, but let me Justin DW, thank you for the generous contribution. Justin DW says, even though the Clippers fall short, Steve Ballmer feels like he wants to win and gets people who makes the moves. Lob City fall out to PG and Kawhi. You exactly right, bro. Man, Jeff Van Gundy can kiss a bare butt for all I care. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and thank you, Friendly Rims, by the way. Thank you, Friendly Rims, for Allen Houston.
Yes. And this dude gonna talk trash about the Knicks, and he quit on 2 playoff teams. He quit on the Knicks and the Rockets. And he gonna sit behind a microphone and talk about what other people ain't doing right. Man, listen, Jeff Van Gundy better not never come. He better not never put his application into the Knicks. You know what I'm saying?
I think he already knows that.
That's why he'll never leave ESPN.
Right. He better not never. Some people don't have the right to say nothing, bro. You don't have the right to say Jeff Van Gundy. Get out of here, bro. Jeff Van Gundy inherited a championship level team.
Ooh, and speaking of that, here's another crazy fun thing about this. If the ball didn't tap dance in the rim and go in, Jeff Van Gundy would have been fair. Who knows? We could have had Phil Jackson potentially.
Okay.
You know what I mean? As a coach, potentially.
I would send that bag out for Sam Presti. I would send out damn near $100 million if I was James Dolan, just to throw it at Sam Presti, because he at least knows how to draft. Why? I mean, the whole tanking thing, like he literally had 3 MVPs and got nothing out of it, which is horrendous.
Right.
And made terrible moves along the way.
After that, what do you do?
He tried to patchwork to replace Kevin Durant with Paul George and try to compete with Westbrook, and then that didn't work. And then he just decided to tear it all down and acquire assets for like the last 5 years or 3 years, 4 years.
And how has that worked out? How has the last 10 years worked out for Sam Presti?
No championships.
They haven't.
One finals appearance. That's it.
Right. And that was in 2012, so it's barely 10 years. It just barely
I was in middle school at the time, getting ready to go to high school.
He picked terrible coaches, and like he stayed with Scotty Brooks way too long, and then he picked Perkins over amnestying him.
Yeah. What about the Bucks GM?
John Horst.
I mean, he found Giannis Antetokounmpo out of
the
nowhere.
Greek god.
Because nobody knew who Giannis was.
But there also got Budenholzer, which was big.
They had a lot of stuff happening too, though.
He turned Bledsoe into Drew Holiday. I mean,
they traded a lot for Drew, but that was the right move. Clearly, it was the right move, but they traded a ton for him.
Can we talk about their misses?
Like Jabari Parker.
Yeah.
Like
Jabari
Brandon
Parker.
Jennings.
Yeah. Monte.
John Henson.
Larry Sanders.
Larry Sanders.
But this is what generational talents do. Generational talents make you forget about all the problems.
Right, but the problem too is you can't get a generational talent. At least these guys that we're mentioning could get them.
Yeah.
At least they swing for the high ceiling guy. Because for instance, if Leon Rosewood had drafted like the most high ceiling guy and he turned out to be a Giannis type, all this crap we'd be saying about Leon Rose would just go by the wayside in like 3 years. But we don't even do that. So we don't even go for the high ceiling guy in the draft. We just take ham sandwiches.
Dude, we're trying
and
to
role
draft
players.
back to the 7th round in a 2-round draft.
Jeez.
We're not the Patriots, bro.
Right.
We really move like Julius Randle is an MVP caliber player, and we don't really have to make the big moves. We just need to have marginal moves. Like we already have the superstar, so why do we need to do everything else?
We just need more step back threes from Julius Randle.
Yep.
In traffic.
And
more
we need to
RJ
sign
Barrett clunkers at the corner.
We need to sign Jarrett Jack back.
Facts. And maybe get Lou Anderson back too in the process.
Jack.
And Quincy AC.
And Jared Jeffries.
But the crazy part about it, Freezy, when we do draft, crazy part about it, Freezy, when we do draft project players, they're never hyper athletic. They're just Frank Ntilikina.
Can we draft Langston Galloway again?
I didn't mind Galloway though. I didn't mind him more.
Bro,
Langston Galloway hustled at least.
But at the time, see the Langston Galloway thing. In my opinion, this is just my opinion, bro. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just merely throwing out my opinion, right? When you draft Langston Galloways, you can't have Tony Douglas's and Torrey Murray's on your roster all at the same time.
That's true. You're right about that.
Or also, like, I know Alonzo Trier has some head case issues, but like, dude had a lot of talent, bro.
It's
he
true.
had a lot of talent.
We shouldn't have gave up on him so quick.
Agreed.
Well, you talk about your man's wife about that. You know what I'm saying?
Alonzo Trier did not play basketball. Alonzo Trier did play basketball for himself. That's literally what he played it for.
Yeah.
He was viewed as like
he was young, bro. Like we could have worked with him on something. We could have at least tried more than 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
He was like 24 by the time we got him. Just
still though. Like, I'm just saying there was a chance.
I'm gonna say this though. Like if there was a chance, the NBA will find talent no matter where you are on this planet. And if no other team wanted to take him, he must not have been that good.
We should sign Bobby Cruz.
We should also sign Aaron Afalo.
What you mean? Discount Michael Jordan?
Oh my god!
And speaking of MJ, we nearly had him in the summer of '96.
Yes.
Oh boy! Imagine the championships, man. With him and Ewing, you get pieces.
No, not even Ewing. Him and Shaq.
And Shaq. If we got Pat, we'd have got Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
And we already had a trade partner lined up for Pat Ewing. We were gonna trade him to the Boston Celtics. That was done.
Since he's probably going to be reinstated soon, how about Tyreek Evans?
OJ Mayo?
Why not? You talking about the grocery list?
Yeah, orange juice and mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Nah, we good on him, man.
We got the
man.
I'm good on him. We can't even tie his shoes right now.
Yeah. I don't want nothing OJ Mayo related. We already have OJ Mayo and RJ Barrett, right?
Yeah.
No, OJ Mayo can shoot better than Barrett.
Sure, and Mayo can hit big shots sometimes. I know he was streakier than Carl Wax sometimes, but he could hit big shots sometimes.
He says streakier than Carl Wax.
Yep.
Oh wow.
That was dope, G Money.
Thanks.
That was dope. Yeah, man. I would say, man, maybe we need to relax on say a couple things, but some things need our attention, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. RJ Barrett's shooting is troublesome.
Abysmal.
It's abysmal.
Right.
Shoot better than RJ Barrett right now.
Patrick Star shoot better than RJ Barrett.
Oh my god.
If
Cosmo should better than RJ Barrett.
Who?
Cosmo from Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh my god.
And RJ Barrett.
Yeah, man, RJ RJ is a mess, bro.
Yeah.
Right now.
Hey, Freezy, you look at the Knicks starting five, right? Brunson, Randall, RJ, Mitch, and Grimes, right?
Okay.
Would you stay with us? Would you stay with that starting five, or would you change it up a little
What?
bit?
Okay. So let me ask this: what are we changing it up for? Like, what are we looking to do? Like, help me out. Help me answer the question.
Freezy, I'd rather have Sagana Jop at shooting guard.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But you can't have him because he's coaching our Westchester team.
Mm, mm, mm.
We can promote him. We can promote him.
We get Lamar Odom back from retirement too.
And he was on crack.
Facts.
Come on now.
And I would say if I were to change the starting five, I would change only two players. I would get Grimes out of the starting lineup, put Cam back in there,
Okay.
and also put McBride.
Okay.
McBride.
So it'd be Brunson, McBride, Mitch, Randall, and Cam, and also I would take RJ out of the starting lineup as well.
RJ out of the starting line. Wow.
Yeah.
I think RJ plays faster. RJ speedy and he's speedy like Sonic with the bench though.
I'd probably take RJ out and put Cam.
Yeah, I would take RJ out of the starting lineup and Grimes out of the starting lineup and put in McBride and Cam.
Did you see Cam play basketball yesterday?
I agree with McBride. I agree with the Grimes.
Did you guys see Cam play basketball yesterday? Yes or no?
I think you know what. He might be Adam might be a little right with that one as far as Grimes. I mean, not, but I wouldn't swap out. I swap out Grimes and Cam. I understand. I saw that game and he just didn't look right coming off the bench. He didn't feel it.
He was trying to play too fast.
What is that? He did it twice. What does that mean? When you do it twice, it's something different. What the fuck is
Cam
that?
was ripping his pants out
who
there.
is that? What is that?
My bad. I was in the background.
Well, Cam Reddish last game was Cam ripping his pants.
Yeah.
You know, and the reason why I would take RJ out of the starting lineup because he's just struggling from the shooting.
Because he's,
you know what I mean. So I would like to see McBride in the starting lineup.
McBride in the starting?
No. If you think RJ struggles, what? If you think RJ struggles, have we ever seen McBride hit a jumper in like non-garbage time since last year?
The last time McBride hit a jump shot, I was in Broadport. The last time,
literally the only time I remember him hitting a non-garbage time jump shot was against the Rockets last year. Legit.
Like
I really have no recollection of a non-garbage time, like a jumper that actually mattered in the course of the game.
I'd rather quickly over McBride if we're talking that.
Agreed.
Exactly.
I Grimes and Cam in the starting lineup over RJ.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Like, if we think RJ's inconsistent, man. Like RJ had 13 points today, and that's quite literally like better than 85% of Cam Reddish's games. Period.
Yeah.
Not even joking.
And Grimes, bro. This dude, man. When's the last time Grimes you saw Grimes scoring double digits?
I mean, he did it earlier. He had like 15 earlier this week, something like that.
No, when the last time we saw him score in the fourth or third quarter?
We need more defense in the starting lineup, and RJ has been a garbage defender this year.
Right. Okay.
You could say about 3 people have been a garbage defender in our starting lineup.
RJ
and Randall has been pretty bad.
Yeah.
So that's roster construction for you.
Yep. Bingo.
So what do you think happens against the Cavs today? Since it's after midnight, what do you think happens against the Cavs today? What's your guess?
We're gonna get smoked.
Yep.
$1 billion to nothing.
We're gonna lose by 20.
We're gonna put up a good show in the first half, and then it's just gonna ravel out of control when the Cavs make adjustments and we don't, which is common for like us. Period. We look good for the first 24 minutes, and then it spirals out of control.
And then
The third
right
quarter.
once the other
Mm,
team makes an adjustment, then
I,
we can't match.
I don't see the Knicks putting on
Adjustments.
the
What are
performance
those?
at all.
I don't know, bro.
Don't be surprised if Kevin Love has a 30-30 game. I'm not saying he's going to do that.
30.
Imagine.
Shocked. The dude's
I do
60
remember he
years
gave us.
old.
I'm not
I
saying
do
he'll do
remember.
that, but don't be surprised though. It's
I
the Knicks we're talking about here though.
I
Dang,
do
we're gonna see
remember he.
nine
I
people
do
like
remember he did that
Jackson
to us
out
like
there.
10 years ago. I remember he did
Right.
that to us like 10 years ago.
Yeah, but that's 10 years ago, bro. He's not doing that today.
I'm not saying he will. I'm saying it's a potential. The way this team is, don't be surprised.
It's also a potential that Tibbs gets off the bench and has a triple double. But is it going to happen?
No,
Yeah.
it could happen, but it won't. Yeah.
Tibbs,
I think
Tibbs in
is
80s
coaching
style
too.
shorts dropping a triple double.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Freezy.
Yeah, yes,
that guy that plays for the Knicks, number 17. What's his name again?
Speed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Speed
wouldn't
McCollum.
mind seeing him get being in the starting lineup. 'Cause he can shoot them threes.
I don't know. He can shoot, but he's a bench player, man.
Bro,
Yeah.
it feels like the more guys we add to the rotation, the worse we play.
If we start Steve
worst we
McCallum,
go.
the Knicks win like 3 games the rest of the season. We start Steve McCallum. We win like 3 games.
That's because we can barely go 10 deep. We don't have enough talent.
No. The problem is all of our talent is so middling that even if we go 10, 11, 12 deep, it's like there is going to be no difference. Like there is, like you might as well just run a 9-man rotation.
You don't want to see Archie, whatever the heck his name is, right? Pronounce it.
He's hurt.
Archie
Right.
Archidiakono. You don't want to see him.
No, Ryan
No, he's
Archdiocese. Archdiocese. That's what his name is.
I just feel like Tibbs should not stick with the same starting five because it's not clicking.
I don't think any lineup works, man.
Yes, no lineup.
Right.
Was like, why is there some people who always blame the coach? If no lineup's going,
it's everyone's fault.
Right.
That's everyone's fault.
Right.
It's the front office, coaching staff, and players.
Right.
Okay.
They're not in sync. In sync. That's really what it is.
No, it ain't. No.
Exactly. It's like the blah blah without the other blah. It's like the Ed without the Eddie. Yeah, that's what it is right now.
Yeah,
it's like giving a dog chocolate. Like, geez.
Our starting lineup's a bad sitcom. It's 2.5 Men with Ashton Kutcher.
It's like Friends without Jennifer Aniston.
And like politics won't allow certain players to go to the bench or not play 30 minutes a night. So we need to just like get it out of our head. This starting lineup is going to be what it's going to be. The only difference is it might be Cam or Grimes. That's it. That's the only change.
You mean Tibbs isn't start Evan Fournier and try to make him a point guard?
Oh boy.
God.
Tibbs doesn't even want to put him in the game.
I just accidentally spoke that into existence. I'm sorry, guys.
It might actually happen in existence. Don't be surprised. Might.
Fournier hasn't played in like 10 games now.
Yeah, he hasn't played.
Freezy, you want to see a tweet? I want to send you. I'm gonna post it and you can put it up on the stream. But this tweet is kind of damning about the actual coaching. Like, this is one of the damning things about the actual coaching.
Okay.
A little G Money McNugget for you. Have you noticed with Dolan made the play like 7 times under Dolan since he's taking over as the owner? 7.
Nah,
that's
we made
not
more than
money. That's not a lot, bro.
That's horrendous. 7-11. Jeez.
Look at that
Hold up.
statistic.
When we started making those playoff runs back in the late 80s and the 90s.
Yeah, but I'm saying with Dolan. That's what I'm saying with Dolan.
Coach needs to see that tweet. That's what Coach needs to see. Coach will be like, "Thank you. It's what I've been wanting to see this whole time."
Delano Steele says it best, man. We're built for marketing and making money, not winning.
We deserve better.
So wait, Z, you're not interested in buying a $500 Kith jacket?
No.
$500. Knicks Kid
I
jacket.
something cheaper at Old Navy or Baby Gap, bro.
This is what I mean. Like guys are miscast and misused away from their actual skill sets. This is a damning thing about Tibbs that I don't like.
Mhm.
And
Do you think we should?
and the thing is, like he had Joakim Noah passing out of the triangle for
Oh, the
years.
tornado, the tornado, the
Yeah,
airmail
but
that
he had
was.
a non-shooting center
Mhm.
passing out of the triangle for years, but he literally does not know how to use Hartenstein.
That is kind of a good point.
That is why does Mitchell Robinson have a higher assist percentage than Isaiah Hartenstein? Make that make sense.
And Hartenstein is not a 3-point shooter.
At
Because it's
all.
the Knicks, baby. It's the Knicks.
Make that make sense.
And even saying that make sense is too kind. Is blasphemous. Yeah,
That
very
that
crazy.
I heard is a good passer.
Yes,
that is arguable. That is his best skill, and we don't use it. Like we just don't. We just tell him to try to play like bitch. That's it. Grab
as
rebounds
crazy
and try to
as
dunk.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, man. You got it.
As crazy and wrong this may sound, do you think New York should consider? I'm not saying they'll do this. I said consider starting iHeart. Would you consider?
We tried that and it didn't work because we don't use him to his strengths, and none of the other guys in our starting lineup like to cut. We don't have motion in our offense,
Good
so
point.
it's just like you guys stand in a corner, and I'm gonna run pick and roll with this one guy, and we're just not really gonna have any off ball actions or backdoor cuts. Which is why when you see Hartenstein try to hit somebody for a cut, and they just stare at him and don't cut, and the ball goes out of bounds because we're just not used to that type of motion. It's not a modern offense, man. It's
Hmm.
modern in its principles as far as taking layups and threes, but the
Right.
route that we get to taking these layups and threes are way more difficult than actual good offensive teams.
Big
Because
time.
So
And
what
they,
you're saying is we
right.
need more step back threes from Randall.
It, yeah. And speaking of step backs, Delano had an amazing comment. Every attendee at a Knicks game should chant, "We deserve better," and sell the team, sell the team. Dolan can but won't kick everyone out of MSG.
I honestly don't think Dolan is the worst like thing ever. Like so, like I don't necessarily think him selling the team is a problem because I feel like Dolan wants to win. He just throws his money at the wrong people to win.
Good
Like
point.
he just
That's
throws it at grifters or people that let the game pass them by, like Phil Jackson.
right.
Like like he is an agent and he is trained to lie to you and inflate his own value. And he made you feel like he knew what the hell he was talking about. And he didn't know he doesn't know shit about putting a team together. He only knows how to sell his players.
Yeah, the front. Yeah, some of his moves were kind of terrible. Even some of the trades, trading for Tony McDyess, getting a grandpa over the hill, Glenn Rice. I
It's
mean,
like it's like
what the heck,
come
man?
on, bro.
What the
It's
heck?
like
Trading for
it's like
Brian.
it's like doing the same thing over and over. It's like
What's it? Hey, what's the definition, Dre? What's the definition of insanity, bro?
doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Yep. Read it and weep, huh? It's the same
It's
song and
it's
dance in New York every year.
it's it's actually kind of absurd that statistic right there. And I'm gonna drop. I wanted to
And
show.
also made the playoffs 7 times under Dolan. Don't forget about that. 7.
It's because he keeps hiring the wrong guys and he has blind loyalty. Like he had loyalty to Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah
Right.
Thomas tricked him.
Right.
Oh.
Even Charles Oakley was about to do a KO 2-piece face on Phil Jackson. I mean, on Dolan, I think. Charles Oakley. Remember that game in which the Clippers came back to beat the Knicks without CP3
He
on
he
ESPN?
hires guys that he thinks will get the job. I mean, he did it. He got it right for the Rangers. Delano. It's just
True.
he like Courtney said. Like He may need to just outsource his opinion on trying to get the right guy in position to run his franchise.
Exactly.
And he may also need to have patience and have the idea of waiting 3 to 4 years for your fruit to bear ripe. Like you can't rush these things because
Even
rushing things allow us to waste 3 years figuring out that RJ Barrett doesn't work with Julius Randle, and instead of waiting it out and figuring it out, we sign a bunch of guys immediately. You sign a bunch of power forwards, like just as soon as we get cap space.
Look at the Brooklyn Nets. They tried the quick fix. How'd that work?
Yeah, it
they failed. Durant's sneakers were too enormous, and then Feisty Leprechaun swept them out in the postseason last year.
It almost worked, but it still failed. And now they traded virtually everyone off that team that allegedly created culture.
Ironically, Brooklyn's starting to heat up. They won 4 in a row. Ironically,
like the Bucks are gonna get them up out of there. The Bucks are gonna get them up out of there, or the Celtics. Like they really can't compete with those teams. In my opinion,
again, any team can compete doesn't mean they will. Every team has a chance when you're in the playoffs. I just don't think they. Of course, they can compete, but I don't think they will. You know what I mean?
We're arguing semantics at this point.
Exactly. No, I'm just saying.
Exactly. Thank you. Right.
It's like, I mean, I could, in theory, get a supermodel. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You have a chance to do that. Nothing's going to happen. You have an opportunity.
In theory, but is it likely?
Dre, remember, Dre, you're not ugly. You're just broke.
My mother said I was handsome, so I'm gonna take her at face value. My mother would never lie to me about anything in life.
Oh yeah, Derek. Well, speaking of lying, Derrick Rose lied that we were a super team in 2017. Remember the year? Remember when we won 31 games? Rose said we were a super team.
Well, Derrick Rose didn't lie. It's more that he's a little slow.
Nah, he lied, man.
He said they were saying we're like a super team, and I was just like, "How do you say that?"
They were a super team 10 years before that. If they were to
maybe, but 10 years before that, KP was like 12.
No, I just meant as far as the Rose and Melo and Noah went.
Oh my God, Noah! What a terrible contract.
Hey. We got like 2 good games out of him.
2.
I feel like that was a stretch. I feel like that was a stretch.
I was at the home opener that year when they beat Memphis. That was Noah's first and only good game.
Wow. I legit don't even. That was I legit don't remember anything from the Noah years. Like, I remember it happened, but I don't remember him actually doing anything with a basketball in his hand.
Memphis that game and acting like he was Pat Bev in the play-in game.
Yeah.
Oh my God! And he was doing the gun bang thing. Oh God! Now I just remembered. Oh,
you're welcome for bringing back the trauma.
Pain. I'm just. Bro, when I say scorch the earth, if you're not on a rookie deal right now, you really just don't need to be on the Knicks. What are you here for? Just go, man. Find greener pastures. Somebody please take these guys off of our hands, and then we can just take terrible contracts for the next year or two.
Really?
Yes.
It would. I would say. Okay, so there's a difference between there are the intellectual fans, right? Not the ones that think they're intellectuals, I mean, the ones that when you hear them speak, they sound like their rhetoric is coming from an earnest place of research.
Right, that they're sensible in what they say with their opinions, not
Right.
just lying for the
Like,
sake of lying.
right. Like like what they're saying is based in fact.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And then there are
Freeze, you're frozen.
Freezy froze.
Jeez.
Bad timing.
What a shame.
He'll be back.
Yeah, he'll be back. It just froze in the middle of maybe his computer shut down.
I think what Freeze was trying to imply is that they're fans like us who are reasonable, that actually know what we're talking about and actually are objective about the team and actually bring facts to the argument versus fans who are like fair weather fans who just talk for the sake of talking and have no facts to their opinions at all. And have a lot of misconceptions.
No, it's just I think the people who can articulate their argument to some degree.
Yeah.
And make it sound good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I try to use statistics and try to use the eye test when I give my assessments for certain things. Mm-hmm. So like I don't want to jump off the cliff if I see something, but I want to just double check just to make sure that I'm not tripping.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's I think what Freeze was trying to imply. Right.
But we know Freezy has a way to start off a point one way and it goes completely left from what you expected. So I'm just not gonna assume all the way what Freezy was talking about. He's pretty good at spinning.
He'll be back to say for himself what he was talking about.
Right.
Oh my God! Somebody said we gave up a second overall pick for Eddie Curry. Good God!
Boy.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah.
Hey, was Eddie Curry a fat Kwame Brown?
Nah, hold on a second. Eddie Curry was pretty good, man. It's just
that was crazy.
Yeah.
You just lost your internet, Freezy?
Well, I guess Trae Young put you in the deep freeze.
Looks like it. It looks like my internet just started going berserk. Yeah.
What were you saying, Freezy? Because you had it.
I lost my train of thought. I was doing.
Yeah, you're saying that
about intellectual minds
who bring facts to their opinions.
Right. So there are different types of fans. Like there's like the intellectual fans that base all their thoughts on facts, like things that have actually happened, and don't try to manipulate the facts. And then there are emotional fans that basically say, fire everybody because I'm sick and tired.
Agreed. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And then there are the fans that are clueless. Like, nah, man, RJ will be all right, man. He just struggling a little bit, man. Every year. And then when you talk to him, like, hey, if it happens every year, if this happens every year, why is this not an issue? Why are we not looking to do something about this?
You know what their answer is for me? He's 22.
He's only 22 years old.
He's only 37 years old. Give him time.
It only took Frank 12 years.
He's 50. Give him more time. Please.
Yeah. And so basically what I'm getting at is we all have different perspectives and the way that we want to look at stuff. But ultimately what we should do is look at things for what they really, really are.
Bingo.
Who are we? We need to take that long look in the mirror, right?
Nice.
And if you don't want to take that long look in the mirror, bro, if you're one of those people that are saying, nah, man, we gonna be that is delusional.
Agreed.
100%. Right on the money.
Like Freezy, as long as you know me, I don't just say things just to say them. So
Right.
When I get frustrated, I try to give a well thought out reasoning as to why. I try not to be. Well, I don't even get like when I get frustrated. I don't even get emotional about it. It's just like whatever.
Yeah, that's good.
We are the New York Bricks. Is
Or the New York
Hey,
Breakerbuckers, the New York Breakerbuckers or Clunkerbuckers.
no matter how much we disagree, we can't hurt each other more than the Knicks have already hurt us all.
Big time fast. Every time you watch the Knicks, you get a migraine. If you every time you watch the Knicks, you get a migraine, or you just bang your head to a wall.
I just know how obnoxious I'll get if we're ever put together a semblance of a consistent winner, like a real winner.
Let us win a championship and see how crazy we get.
Don't even let us win let us win a second round playoff series, and then you'll feel how ignorant I am.
Bro, when New York won Game 2 against Atlanta, the fans were going cuckoo crazy. It was like a party outside of M&G when New York came back and won Game 2 after being down by 15.
In retrospect, that's a little embarrassing. In retrospect,
What
that
about
was
the
very
home opener
embarrassing.
against Boston?
F.
Remember when
Trey
we
Young.
The double over.
F. Trey Young.
remember when we dropped confetti to avoid. Remember when we dropped confetti to avoid a sweep to the Heat?
Mhm.
We avoided a sweep and we dropped confetti, bro.
New York, we're freaking back. That's what the fans did in double overtime.
I need them to ban the Bing Bong thing forever. I don't
Bing
want to hear it
bong,
ever again.
bing bong.
If you're gonna
Stop
actually
saying
play like the Bing Bong, you could play the train sound, but never the voice, man. The train sound is inherently very New York, but the guy screaming Bing Bong,
The
it
Knicks are
feels
so bad.
man, it's Bing Bong sounds like someone from Massapequa came up with it. No offense to the Massapequa people out there, but it's not. That doesn't sit right with me.
The Knicks are so bad that even sometimes Mike Breen gets a bang call towards the other Knick opponent. He gave one to Klay Thompson early in the year. Heck, he gave Marcus Smart a double bang in MSG.
Marcus Smart.
A double bang in MSG. And even Mike Breen gave a bang call for LeBron against the Knicks in 2012. You can check Game 1. Gave a two bangs for the Celtics in Game 4, 2013.
I mean, when you get crapped on as much as the Knicks, I mean, it's kind of expected you're gonna get the
True,
bang.
and Klay Thompson got a bang call early in the year.
We're keeping it real. Mike Breen is the voice of the NBA at this point, so it's
Don't
going
be
to happen.
surprised if he gives Trae
When
Young
you're
the
bad, you're
triple
going to
bang
get
against
the
the
brunt
Knicks
of
on
it.
Wednesday. Don't be surprised.
Hold on a second. G-Money, let him finish.
I'm sorry.
No. You good? I ain't have nothing to say after that, man. I was gonna say, go ahead, G. Go ahead, G. You got it.
Right. Don't be surprised if he does the game on Wednesday on ESPN and Trae Young gets a triple bang. Trae, step back, 3-pointer, bang, Trae tearing MSG tonight.
Why do you sound so excited for that, G-Money? You're a Knicks fan.
He wants that to happen so bad.
I do not.
Oh yeah, he does.
I do not.
You liar.
Whatever, man.
Wait, hold on.
Welcome back to Trae. Welcome back to Murrayson Square Garden.
Wait, hold on. I got a question. For the Knicks telecast games, I don't think Mike Breen does the bang for opposing teams, but the national TV games he does do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and I don't blame him too.
I mean, that's his signature, man. It's like telling Hulk Hogan not to do the leg drop or something, man.
Yeah,
like, oh yeah, brother.
Right, yeah, like that's his thing. That's like telling the Kool-Aid man not to say, "Oh yeah," like that's not fair.
Welcome to Trae Youngison Square Garden. Yep.
See, a Knicks fan would never say that, G-Money.
I'm just messing around. Welcome back to Murrayson Square Garden. If DeJounte goes off again.
Oh
not
God!
Not a single Knicks fan would ever say that, messing around or not.
Hey,
you know what is bad though. The thing that I'll put on Tibbs that is bad. There's no reason for us to blow as many double-digit leads as we do.
Good point. That's true.
Like we've consistently done that as he's been here. and that means we make no adjustments. We make no
right.
adjustments.
We also
That's what it
did a
means.
lot before. We also did a lot before him, too, if you notice. Like the Fizdale years.
I feel like we were always down in the Fizdale
Right, but
years.
when we did get a lead, we blew it.
Yeah, but that would rarely happen. Like we would routinely get like a 15-point lead and just blow it.
Yeah, because we weren't good enough. We weren't good enough to get the lead to blow in the first place under Fizdale very often.
Even with Fizdale,
Look at the bright side. At least we have a lead to blow with Tibbs.
Every time I see Fizdale, I think of the meme where it was like we're down 100-62 and he's in the camera smiling.
Yo, I saw Facebook memories today. It was Fizdale drawing on the whiteboard, and then there's a picture of a whiteboard. Remember those weird S's you used to draw in school?
Yeah. With the lines.
Yeah, that was all that was on his playbook in the meme.
I think the first playbook was when Julius Randle was here. It was Julius Randle ISO spin move. That's what it was.
Or was Marcus Morris ISO?
Oh my God! What's in there? Kevin Knox went from playing all the time in his first year to immediately going to the bench.
And then you have Mo Harkless shooting 3 balls at the corner. Oh boy!
Like I gotta take a slow. I gotta take a deep breath, man. You know it's bad. Like I don't know how Walt Clyde lasted this long watching terrible basketball.
And Mike
up
Breen
close
too.
every game. You would
pay very well.
But you would think that would take years off your life, though. Like
here's another
physically,
one,
that's
too.
not good for you.
On top of that, though, dude, Wally Zerbiak never played for the Knicks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he is so crazy optimistic about this Knicks team year in and year out.
Oh, good God! Every time I see it, every time
is he clinically insane?
Nah, he from Long Island. He grew up a Knicks fan.
Right, but how are you that optimistic? If you grew up a Knicks fan, you never even played for him. Like, how are you that optimistic?
He is not realistic at all. I mean, Alan Hahn is actually at least realistic.
Right,
Like,
Zerbiak's on cloud 9 all the time.
I'm like, and he starts describing guys like in the most weirdest ways. Like every time you give Julius Randle the ball in isolation, look out, he's gonna score. I'm like, shut up, Wally. That doesn't happen. What are you talking about? Are we watching the same basketball game?
Right. What do you think about Alan Hahn, Bill Peter, Monica Minot?
Or like, be careful. You know, Derrick Rose could dunk on you in transition. What?
I mean, he could, but he won't.
Years.
Of course he could, but he won't.
Alan Hahn is pretty good. I actually like his radio show.
Yeah,
like Wally and Rebecca are going nowhere, man. So get used to it.
What about Monica McNutt?
Monica McNutt is solid. She's actually pretty good on the other shows that she's on, but she like the way she speaks is more. It comes with like a positive candor to it. Even if she's not even if she's saying something negative, it sounds positive at the same time because she talks like it's peachy, like everything is peachy. It's like the Knicks played terrible tonight, but it's okay. Like that's how
she's that meme. She's that meme with the dog in the cartoon dog in the house that's on fire, and he's saying everything's fine.
It's like everything's fine. Yeah, exactly that. I like Monica McNutt. She's cool. Like, she's on ESPN a lot. Bill Pito. You know what we need to do? We need to find where Al Troutwig is at because he would ish on the Knicks if we were playing bad. He would come up and tell us how badly we were playing.
Agreed. I miss Al Troutwig. He was underrated.
And man will come up there with that MSG branded mic and talk in a deep voice about how terrible the Knicks have been in the last month.
Agreed.
Shout out to Al Troutwig and God rest John Andrews' soul. I think he passed. Yeah, so God rest his soul. I love Johnny Hoops. Whenever he stood in for Clyde, whenever Clyde didn't feel like coming and watch the terrible Knicks.
I feel bad for Mike Brand and Clyde every time they do Knicks games. I feel bad for them, man. If I remember that one time the Knicks played the Rockets on TNT and fans were wearing bags over their head. Yeah.
Clyde is a real nice guy, man. I've seen him. I think he lives in Harlem, but like I met him in Harlem at a restaurant one time. Real nice guy.
Right.
Like, and I don't know how he's always in a nice mood, but God bless him. I'll be in a terrible mood if I had to watch the Knicks every day for a living.
Remember Marv Albert back then? It counts and the foul. Yes, remember Marv Albert serving up a facial.
I like Marv Albert, but in the last decade, you could see he was getting senile. Like he was calling out wrong people's names.
Mm-hmm.
He was late on every call. It was getting bad. Like he actually had to retire. Like I hope.
I kind of like Mike Tirico when he does games.
It was just toupee, man.
You know who's the best though? Hubie Brown. However, he was still sharp no matter what.
Facts.
No matter what, he would give you real insight. He calls games for Atlanta? What?
No, he lives down here in Atlanta.
Oh, he lives.
Yeah, but he
okay, gotcha. Does he still do HBA games? Because I haven't seen him in a minute. I don't think he does. It's like.
What about Kevin Harlan? I like Kevin Harlan.
Kevin Harlan is very underrated, and he doesn't take it. And he doesn't take his job too seriously either.
Mm-hmm.
What about Mike Tirico? I like him when he does those games.
I like Mike Tirico.
Underrated.
During football, he doesn't do basketball games anymore. Even though he was pretty good at basketball games, he doesn't do them anymore.
Mind him.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of underrated.
Facts and very humble too.
Mike Tirico is in the perfect position where he's at for MSG. You know what I'm saying? Like pregame and with everybody else outside of that, nah.
For real, I like him during games. He's cool.
Right. What about Mark Jones? Who does
hotter than fish grease? He put him in the block listers. Like, shut up.
You don't like that son?
I mean, he's cool. After a while, I have a lot of league pass.
He's corny, bro. He's corny.
He's corny, but he goes back to the same lines over and over. I mean, he's cool. He's cool. And you know what? I might get tomatoes for this, but sometimes Richard Jefferson is funny. Sometimes. Sometimes he's funny. Sometimes he's funny.
Keyword sometimes.
How do you guys feel about Doris Burke when she does games? I like it.
I like that. I like that she's concise and she keeps it to the game. Like she knows exactly what she's talking about. Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
I mean, I know he's cool. He's cool. Yeah, he's cool. He had the jawbreaker thing, but it was cool. Yeah.
I'm gonna head out. Good talking with you guys.
Good talking to you, Z.
Good night.
Good talking to you, Z. Good night. Stay safe, man.
Have a good night, guys.
You too. Don't let the big buzz bite.
Think Freezy may have called it a night, or he'll pop in. No, Freezy's here.
Yeah, he's still here.
Oh,
muted.
Oh, he muted. Well, I can hear him vaguely.
How about now?
Yeah.
Freezy hit us with the Wiz voice real smooth. That sounded like Wiz for a second.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Just when y'all was rocking, I didn't really have nothing to add. So, you know what I'm saying? I didn't check out. It's just back here getting the stuff ready for, old school Knicks. You know what I'm saying? Coming up.
Yeah, AD.
New school Knicks. AD. Yeah, new school Knicks coming up. So,
Greeny for that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Just probably do some Carmelo Anthony talk.
Mm-hmm.
with new school
Give
Knicks.
us a sneak preview. Like, what about Carmelo?
How Carmelo Anthony may be able to save this season.
May be able to play this season. That's what you said.
No.
Oh.
Carmelo may be able to save this season.
Wow.
Now, see, I'm gonna let you leave it at that, so I can tune into old school Knicks just to hear how that would actually happen.
And trust me, it's gonna be easy. Carmelo Anthony is gonna easily save the season and save some jobs.
Yeah, but
I'm just trying to figure out how it's gonna happen. That's all I'm gonna say.
You don't have to figure it out, bro. All you gotta do is tune in at 9.
Come on, man. You know I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna get my quick little 3-4 hours and be back up for guard duty.
Bounce right back up. Yep. With a flashlight with a red lens in it.
Exactly.
Yep. No doubt. No doubt.
Remember general orders.
Yeah. and yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm gonna let them know when the chow truck come, when the chow truck show up. I'm gonna let them, and all that, bro. We
hot A's to hot teas.
Man.
Oh man, I wanted to be funny, but I just saw a clip where you could audibly hear Tibbs scream "action, action, cut, cut, cut," while Randall was in the post, already in the middle of the lane. It's like, where you want people to run into Randall? Like, I don't understand, Tibbs. Like,
yeah, Tibbs, what are you doing?
He's screaming, cut, cut, action, action, while Randall's already in the middle of his move in the post.
Yeah, that's my thing with Tess. His offensive system can be a little bit funkier than skunk sometimes.
Oh man, it's like off-ball actions don't exist for us. It's just on-ball.
Dre, not only is Carmelo, if the Knicks sign Carmelo, not only is he gonna save the season, bro, something magical is gonna happen. Mm-hmm. And it's a schematics thing. It's not Disney. It's scheme is what's gonna make it work.
So like, he's a miracle worker, right? It seems like that's what you're saying. So he's gonna make me like 6'4" or something like that. I would appreciate that too. Yeah.
Oh, man, now what I'm gonna say is this. You know what? I have to save it for new school Knicks.
Ooh. Almost cut yourself.
Yeah. Let me do this really quick for new school Knicks, because I keep forgetting to play the joint. Hold on, where is it? There it is. Yo, get your week started off on the right foot. Check out New School Knicks Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Come and enjoy having that Knicks talk the way that you love to have that Knicks talk to you. Join your host, Mr. Rivera, Greeny from LI, the People's Champ, King and G, Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. New School Knicks. Yeah.
That's dope. I've seen that before.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen that one a few times.
Yeah,
still fire.
I have to play them because even though we're used to it, like people that are new to the channel, they like to see stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna play the old school Knicks one. Yeah. It's your main man, Uncle Freezy, the number one chief rocker in Knicks universe. Join me and the man that's so smooth he does not require a chaser, Anthony D. Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. for old school Knicks.
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt.
Come join the party.
Never really know just what you want.
Yeah, man. So we got to do. Y'all know how it is, yo. We got to do the little joint snippets, the little joint stuff.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the little snippets and stuff. So I got like 6 minutes. I gotta rock for like 6 more minutes, man.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I got like 6 more minutes. I gotta rock before I get out of here, and then you know what I'm saying, get ready.
Yeah.
To
Get
jump
some
up
sleep,
there.
right?
Nah, I gotta do some post production. I gotta work on some intros. So I'm gonna work on some intros for a little while, probably till about 6:30 ish, or whenever I get tired, and then you know what I'm saying, and then lay down about 6:30 and jump back up about 8:15 for New School Knicks.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Right. Ooh, another crazy what if I would change if I had a time machine is preventing Reggie Miller scoring 8 points in 9 seconds when the Knicks were up by 6 with 19 seconds to go.
Man, first of all, no, I wish I was a referee in that stinking game. When first of all, the foul and the travel. That's what killed me.
The foul he threw a Nick on the floor, bro.
It was Greg Anthony.
It was Greg Anthony.
Yeah, how you can throw a man on the floor in front of the ref and the ref back up out of the play?
Like seriously?
Come on, bro.
And then he traveled like twice.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm done. I was like, are you serious? When I saw that, I was like, how could that happen? But that was the start of the ending.
That
was the start of the ending of a dynasty.
Yeah,
to some degree.
So let me ask y'all this: how'd y'all like the Knicks Mavs collabo?
I thought it was fine. I liked it.
I listened through. Those guys are really good guys.
Yeah,
you know,
they're sharp. They're sharp too.
Yeah. We got a couple. So we're working on Chicago Bulls. We're working on the Sacramento Kings dudes. I don't think we'll ever do. I don't know. Sacramento, they're like frat house style. Like they do like cowbells and you know. So
they're extra. They're extra.
Very, very, very.
Dre, seriously, man, you just had to do that, didn't you? I can see that.
This is a real basketball mind you're looking at right here, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Genius.
Come on, man. Man.
I'm replacing.
I'm gonna go get Alonzo Trier on you, back on you.
Yeah, man. You know he don't like Trier. You know he don't like Trier, right? You know he don't like Trier. We're working on networking with like some others, man. I think we got some feelers out to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Probably won't get nothing done by tomorrow. But yeah, man, just Detroit. I got a cousin who do the Pistons one. But he got like a weird job and all kind. He like worked like odd shift and whatever. And so, you know what I'm saying? So when we be rocking, he be sleeping, trying to get ready for work. And so he legit is the milkman. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyways, you know what I'm saying? We can rap right here, man. I want to thank everybody for coming through, supporting us all day with all the joints. You know what I'm saying? The game was at 12. You know what I'm saying? We did the game. We rocked for a long time. And then we did the GLO Mavs. We talked Mavs. Went over there, hung out with them. Rocked the spot here for 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? Gonna lay down, take a nap, jump back up, do New School Knicks. So this right here is just gonna be just like a Knicks channel with like television shows on it, basically. You know what I'm saying? We trying to kind of get it there. But you know, the grind is slow. So you remember how back in the day, you know what I'm saying, your TV used to play all day, and then at a certain time, TV used to go off. Yeah. So go off for a little while, and then we're gonna jump back up with the kiddies, New School Knicks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. With the cartoons and whatnot. Here comes Smurf.
We're gonna do that, man. And then old school Knicks. We're gonna talk about Knicks legacy, like old school cats with a legacy, or what's RJ Barrett's legacy as a Knick? Are we gonna remember him a certain way, or will history be kind to him?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna talk about stuff like that, and then the game is at 6.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was gonna say, if history is kind to RJ, it will be because we had players worse than RJ, and I don't want that kind of reality. So don't wish that on me.
Well, we'll see
I'm gonna
because
say
we're
this.
gonna chop it up tomorrow. I'm gonna go in here and get something to eat real quick and do some intros. Thank you everybody for coming through, man.
You're welcome,
Dre,
man.
Dre,
Get some rest, bro.
man.
Anytime.
Salute.
Yeah, man. I'll holler at y'all later, man.